What is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model?
Probably like a magnetic cycle, and just like the center of a ferrocell cell image of a magnet.
I think it's probably like a magnetic cycle, just like the center of a ferrocell spiral. Image of a magnet, it's just black in the middle. It's actually pure inertia, not just a little. In the ferrocell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeah, you start to see it charge up once more, and it goes back like it did before. Once it becomes like etherically spaced, you see it charge up and take its place. Oh, shucks, ain't that so? That's how moon phases work, fam. Pass the dresser. In the magnet's heart, centrifugal divergence flies, centripetal convergence pulls. Defying all science, etheric whispers sing, light and shadow blend, magnetic cycles spin, where physics seems to end. In the ferrocell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Grab your partner, swing 'em round, magnetic cycles up and down. Either song in the air, hillbilly science everywhere, 'cause it's like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Yo, belly on up to the Wixit word salad buffet. Who has light vinaigrettes? The Jugger Ranch.
Then charges back up, and once it becomes like etherically displaced again, you start to see it charge up throughout a cycle, and then it goes back.
It's behind the jug of ranch, everybody. That's where you will find the salad. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for coming along. We have something I haven't done for a while, a call-in show. It's been, I don't know how long it's been, several months since I did one where it was just called a call-in show. So that's what we're doing. I've already got the Zoom linked in the it's pinned there. But before that, you know what we need to do before we do the call-in show. We got to do this. Here we go. Calling. There we go. One ring. Big news today. Big news today from the Flurfy here. I hope he answers. He oh, come on. He knows. He knows.
What?
It's a big day today, Mikey.
Yeah, I deleted my stupid. What do you mean that's a big day?
Big day.
I deleted my live stream.
You got your telescope.
Yeah, I'm returning it. It's a piece of garbage.
Why are you returning your new telescope that you just bought?
Well, because I know that they're shit. So I'm not going to waste my time with them. The eyepiece doesn't work with the cell phone mount because it's garbage. It's like a $2 freaking eyepiece, whatever. I'm just going to get a higher quality binoculars and just keep recording the firmament, and then you'll poop your pants.
I suspect that the issue is the classic PEBCAC.
The which?
PEBCAC, yeah. It's probably the PEBCAC that's often the cause of this type of an issue.
I don't know what you're talking about. What did you say?
PEB, KAC.
So you're saying that I'm the issue?
It's the PEBCAC, so it's probably that. Anyway, I would that's where my money is on the PEBCAC. So
I don't even know what that is still. I don't even know.
That's okay. It's a little, it's not far away from the ID10T error that happens at different times as
what
well.
What are you talking about?
It's maybe it's a little technical. It's stuff we talk about in the industry.
Yeah, I know of the fakery industry. I know.
In the IT industry.
Yeah. I know you're special. I know you know computers. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. That's what I do.
Good for you.
Today,
I know the firmament. How about that?
No, you don't. So today I was installing Homebrew on an older Power Mac, and so that I could get FFmpeg on there is what I was working on. Actually,
so you can do more editing, just like what NASA does. So you can fake all your crap.
Nope. So what telescope? Yep. What telescope did you get?
Oh, it was just a low end one. That's all I can afford, and it's garbage.
What was the model number?
Oh Jesus, I don't know what the heck. I'll look it up on Amazon here.
Do they have Amazon in your country now?
Yeah, Canadians have our special now. What do you mean? We've had it for like 20 years.
I did not know.
Yeah. Hey, we got water up over in Canada too, you know. We live in igloos.
You live in igloos, okay.
Yeah, sure. You know that. You've been to Canada. What the heck?
Yeah, and you drink gravy.
Gravy?
Yeah. Like
we don't drink gravy.
You pour gravy on everything.
No, we don't.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm going to get some French fries. What should I put on it? Gravy. How about some cheese curds? What should I put on the cheese curds? Gravy.
Oh, you're silly. Anyways.
How about, would you like a nice tall glass of gravy? Yes, I'll have a nice tall glass of gravy.
Oh, my God. Okay, Meeza, Meezaa, and it is, well, there is no model number. It's just a...
Meeza.
Yeah, double A at the end, yeah.
Meezaa.
Yeah, and it's
okay.
It's a 90 millimeter aperture with 800 millimeter something rather.
Well, now, Mikey, you got to know, people donated to you specifically to help you get that telescope.
Yeah. No,
so there's a bit of a pressure. You just have to be honest. You have to know there's a bit of pressure. People are expecting a telescope.
Yeah,
Mikey.
But that's okay. I would not be able to produce accurate results with that. So I'm going to get my higher quality binoculars that reduces your so-called chromatic aberration around the moon. So
around the moon.
But it does, around the moon. Yeah, because it doesn't change the shape of the object. It just creates a color ring around the moon.
Yeah,
like normal binoculars.
And why does that happen? Do you know?
I wouldn't have a clue. No.
You wouldn't have a clue?
No. Probably just cheaper binoculars. I don't know. The glass. I don't know. Who cares?
So I can tell you, it's pretty cool how it actually works and how people fix it. So you've seen the cover of the Pink Floyd album, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know that.
And how different frequencies of light are refracted different amounts when it's going through
but that doesn't change the shape of the
No,
object.
it doesn't. But what happens is when you go through a lens, and that lens is doing kind of a large amount of refracting, then it causes a little bit of a spectrum, like the cover of the Pink Floyd album. Yeah. So you've got this fringe on one side. You've got one color, on the other side you've got this other color, and so you need to then have other lenses in the big lens, the collection of lens, right, to reduce that and bring them back into convergence.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Yeah, I get that with my binoculars that I have now, but it's kind of annoying recording the moon like that. But
yeah, you definitely want to fix that chromatic aberration.
Yeah, but that's not going to fix the different stars. The stars are still going to be the same.
They are.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, they'll still be the frequencies that I get. Yeah.
The frequencies. What do you mean?
Whatever. Well, they're not balls of gas. Come on, MCToon. Like you're not obviously watching my videos.
No, I'm not watching your videos.
Yeah, exactly. And of course I have recorded the firm many times. It's too easy, MCToon. It's too easy. You're laughing, but it's going to be funny when I have to present this to the Canadian Space Agency.
It will. I know. I agree.
No, I know it'll be funny for me because they'll be shitting their pants, and you're going to have to wipe it up for them.
I doubt that's going to happen. I can't wait for it though, Mikey. I think it's going to be fantabulous.
Yeah, I know it'll be fantastic. I'll be laughing all the way to the bank.
Of course you will, Mikey. That's precious. All right.
Are you live again or what? Are you live again?
I am. Yes.
Why? Like, are you? I'm telling you, man, I'm your only content, right?
No, I have other content, but Mikey, if it weren't for you, you may, if you wish, you may say to yourself that you are the only reason why my channel exists. If that helps you feel good about stuff, then yes, do that.
So. Yeah, okay. Oh, Mikey is too dumb for this world. Interesting. So you can tell your AI bots to shut their mouth, you know.
All right, that? AI bots. You heard them.
So that comment now makes it a globe, or how does that work?
Well, it was a globe before and after, but I don't know what comment you're talking about.
It was never a globe because we're not spinning. So what about the smoke that is here in Western Canada? Can you get NASA to take a picture of it from space, actual space? Not an airplane, but an actual space.
Yeah, the GOES east and west, probably the west satellite would be the one you want.
Satellites, blah, blah, blah.
So here. Well, I mean, you asked for it. So when you ask for something and is given, you should say thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the cartoon then. Yeah, thank you for the bullshit.
So here we go. I've got it coming up here. I will share it with. Here we go.
Yeah, show the real smoke live, not a so-called recording.
Yep. Well, it's not to 30 frames a second, of course. So
yeah, well, exactly. They have to manipulate it somehow.
Okay, so here is goes west satellite, and that's I think we want the. There it is. That's the one we want.
So how much you got? So you got $2 there. So I get one of that $2.
Oh heck no! You can live stream on your own channel, Mikey, and get your own people to do that. Okay, so here is.
I don't get super chats.
Here is people when I asked them to, they sent you super chats to help you buy the telescope. Okay, so here is the Goes West satellite, and it's. I need to do a little more time. Let's go max time here, so we can get a longer time. We can see the fires going. Now,
what's your puppy's name?
That's Penguin.
Penguin.
Hi, Penguin. God. Good puppy, Penguin. How are you, pupper?
Yeah. Is he depressed because of his name or what?
She is very happy. A very happy pupper.
I hope you don't lie to her either.
All right. Well, Penguin, Earth is a globe. Can you say Earth is a globe, Penguin? Can you say Earth is a... Yeah, go pupper. Go puppy. Okay, there we go.
Is Mikey barking? Yeah, I'm barking all right.
Mikey. See,
that's all barking. They got. Like, does any of your subs have any real facts or any experiments they do themselves?
Oh, well, I'm showing photos of the Earth from space right now. Look at this. Pretty cool. So anyway, there's Canada.
Oh my God, you no. Come on, MCToon, that's not real. Come on.
Of course it is.
You're hilarious.
Oh, pupper. Puppy.
Who's
smarter? Who's smarter?
How cheap are your drugs? How cheap are your drugs? Seriously.
All right.
You are hilarious. I don't believe your subs actually believe that.
Let's see. Oh, the rabbit says, can I please ask Mikey 2 or 3 questions about his lawsuit?
2 or 3 questions?
Yes.
Is it 2 or 3?
Well, let's go for 3.
Okay. Let's go for 3 then.
All right. So we've got some.
Oh, there's $5. So I get
Yeah.
another.
Oh, see, Jack Fetter says, I honestly don't understand why you humor this simpleton. He is one of the dumbest flirps making content, and any recognition only emboldens him. Mikey, is this emboldening
so now,
you?
Now it's a globe. Now it's a globe because
Well,
he did
it was a globe before, of course.
No,
All right. Oh, the rabbit wants to do it in the Zoom meeting. Okay. All right, Penguin, you got to get down, pupper. There you go. All right. All right, so we're gonna. I got the rabbit's in. I'll bring the rabbit in and I'll try to route the audio. So that.
Oh, SpaghettiOs. Come on, MCToon, let's say it together. Oh, SpaghettiOs.
Okay, so I've got the rabbit, and let's get here. Here, the rabbit's
Can you hear me?
I can see and hear you, Mikey. Do you hear him?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear him, Mikey? I don't think you.
No, I can't hear.
Okay, so I didn't do anything to the audio yet. Just
Can you
a
hear me,
second.
Mikey?
Yeah, well, just like, do you know what you're doing?
Give me a second. I gotta route the audio to.
Maybe it's going to space and back. Or maybe that's why it's taking so long. Holy cow.
So, Mikey, am I correct in hearing that you're suing the Canadian Space Agency
I
to
love that
prove the
video you
Earth
put
is a
up.
globe?
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't.
Oh my god.
Okay, Rabbit, he's not hearing you yet, so just a second.
Oh.
And I have your stream muted, so it won't be delayed again.
That's good. Okay, I have to change this. Just a second. Out to Chrome. All right, so now try again. Rabbit.
Can you hear me, Mikey?
Canada has a space agency. Why didn't you get the reflector?
I don't think so.
Those don't have chromatic mistakes.
Mikey, why can't you hear him?
Because you don't know how to run your computer properly.
You're right. I'm working on it here.
Hey, here's the deal. If I get get some money in the next 10 years, will you train me on the computer if I pay you?
No.
Lots of money?
No.
No? You wouldn't do that?
No, I won't.
If I paid you lots of money?
No.
Really?
So, all right. The audio routing is definitely a pain in the butt.
I mean, if you want, I can type. I can just type it out. I just thought it'd be easier if I asked him versus.
Yeah.
Most of them are yes or no questions. Like the few questions I have are yes or no, but he can expand on it if he wants to.
Okay.
But if you want, I can just type it out.
Well, you could say it, and then I'll just say it again to Mikey. How about that?
Okay,
so you can do that.
First, is it true that Mikey is suing the Canadian Space Agency to prove the Earth is a globe?
Okay. The rabbit asks, is it true that Mikey is suing the Canadian Space Agency to prove the Earth is a globe?
Again, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense, he says.
Well he's suing the Canadian Space Agency, isn't he?
Yeah.
Why is he suing the Canadian Space Agency then?
He's suing because he thinks he's going to win and get lots of money.
Well, we've won twice in court already as flat earthers. You don't know that, do you?
He hasn't won. He hasn't won in court.
I have the court case with me. I phoned the courthouse in the States, wherever it was, and I got them to email them to me.
Yeah.
I have the papers.
I have them too. I read them. The case was dismissed. Nobody won.
It was not dismissed. What are you smoking? It was not dismissed.
Yeah, nobody won.
They were dismissed.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about. They were dismissed.
He was awarded money.
He was not awarded money.
Nobody was awarded money, Mikey.
There was no money given.
You read the wrong papers, boy.
Mikey, nobody was awarded money.
Tell me the courthouse you phoned for the papers.
I didn't phone it. I downloaded it. It was what's his? Not Zimmerman. I want to say it was what's that goofball? He's in the wheelchair. Wrote a book. Was buddies with Skiba.
Okay, but to be able to think you're going to win, you have to have a reason that you're suing. And some kind of damage or some kind of defamation. So you can't just say, I'm suing for no reason, give me money.
What's the next question?
Yeah.
We're only on number one. There's supposed to be 2 more questions.
So the rabbit says you can't sue just for money. You have to sue for some sort of damage or defamation. So what damage or defamation?
Exactly. Again, nobody has the papers I sent. Why are they assuming all these things? Do you guys know how to do any research?
He's asking you. And since you haven't
Yes,
published the papers,
there was nine damages I put down.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
not going to repeat them all because I don't have the paper with me.
well, what were some of them at least?
I'll leave that to you guys to think.
No, that's the question. That's what the inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, where's this paper?
I can't remember them right now. I would have to look at the papers.
Would you share them? I'll publish them on my website.
No thanks. Next question.
No thanks. He won't. Okay. Next question, Rabbit.
All of these questions involve the idea that he's suing. That he's suing them.
9 or 10. Yeah, 9 or 10.
So there's no more questions since he's not gonna say
What's the third question?
why
Am I
he's suing
single?
them.
Yes, I'm single.
All right.
Nobody
Well,
cares.
the rabbit doesn't have any more questions since it's all about the case, and you're not actually like answering questions about the case. So,
what if some of it's personal? You don't give me any of your personal information, do you? Okay.
well, yeah.
So
Obviously,
civil
don't
case-
say the personal stuff.
Yeah, I'm not asking personal stuff. I'm asking for the meat of the case.
Yeah, we want the meat of the case, Mikey. Is there any meat?
Okay, in Canadian courts, just like U.S. courts, since you're the one suing, you have to prove that the Canadian Space Agency has done damage to you.
Okay, so the rabbit says if you're suing, you have to prove that the Canadian Space Agency has done damage to you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Not a
What kind
problem.
of damage have they done to you?
What specific damage have they done to you?
It doesn't sound like anything.
Yeah. Oh, I might be able to.
Just
do
give
this.
me one. That's all he's going to give me is one.
Just one is good, Mikey.
Yeah. What's
Nothing.
I'm not kidding you. I've got 9 or 10 of them. I just can't remember them, guy. Like seriously.
And I'm asking for one, which means if he can't remember these damages, he wasn't damaged.
Yeah, just one would be good, but if you can't remember, then you haven't been
I
damaged.
remember damages
Oh, here,
that
wait,
were
I got
done to
them on
me.
my phone. Hold on a sec.
Wait, can you hear him now, Mikey? Go
I
ahead.
heard I think that was your silly dog barking.
Go ahead, Rabbit.
If he was damaged, he's going to remember the damage he took.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he was damaged if he can't think of one of his 10. And I'm only asking for one.
Okay, just hold on. I'm finding them on my phone here. Hold on.
Okay, awesome. Did you get? Do you have copies of the papers?
On my phone, yes, I have them.
Oh, you don't have physical copies of it?
Oh, in the house I do. I'm not in the house right now, in the apartment.
Where are you now? Are you at Tim Hortons again?
In his car.
No, I'm Antarctica. That's hard to say. I'm at Antarctica right now.
No, you're
In
not.
his car.
Yeah.
That's the Planet Studios, their car.
Behind me. Well, my papers here. I'll find them here soon.
Don
Mikey doesn't have a car, does he?
Don Adler, acoustic guitarist, says, I'm Canadian and begging the USA to consider Mikey for citizenship. The United States is not interested.
No, thank heavens. Yeah, no, I would never become a United States citizen ever. No, thank you. Okay, where... Oh, come on. I have them here somewhere. It doesn't matter what I say. You guys are just going to bash the crap out of anything I say, so it doesn't matter, really, does it?
So, I'm not as well informed on science as say MCToon is. I graduated high school. That's all I got. And so I'm not arguing science with you. I'm talking about court cases and rules of well, actually, I'm not going to go too deep into the rules of courtroom. I'm just asking. I just got a couple questions.
I think he's still looking. Yeah, he's still looking.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, he can't hear me?
I think he can hear you now. I adjusted
a little bit. Yeah.
a little bit. All right.
I'm talking louder so that way you can hear me because I think I might sound silent. I'm not trying to yell at you, so if I'm too loud, let me know.
Yeah, I think he's good now. Yeah.
Okay. We got Ramen Ortiz in the chat. There's a Zoom link right at the top of the chat there, Ramen. We're all anxious to hear about the noodles.
It's 1 damage, and it's taken him this long to find 1 damage.
If there were 10, I would have like 2 or 3 I could just rattle off.
I would just be able to shoot these things off if I was damaged, especially by the Canadian Space Agency. I wish Canada did Zoom court. I would pay to see this case.
Here's one question I have for you guys. Why does it matter what I'm doing to you guys?
Oh,
Why does it matter?
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's edutainment, as we say.
Ah, okay, sure.
I mean, because my assumption is that since you're a flat earther, and you could only be upset with the Canadian Space Agency because they're saying that the Earth is a globe, and in your mind it's flat, and the Canadian Space Agency is saying it's a globe. You're suing them because you're assuming that they're lying about the globe. That's my first thought.
They're conspiring a story.
What?
They're conspiring a story, and that's against the law.
And what's the story?
That space is real, and you live on a globe.
Okay.
And what was the damage?
You get into the court case,
yeah.
You are the plaintiff. They are the defendant.
Where did it go?
Who do you think has to prove their side of the story? Do you think the plaintiff does or the defendant does?
Oh, I would have the proof of the space being a cartoon easily.
You need at that point you need to prove the Earth is flat. You need to give something more than just, hey, it's flat.
Yeah, that would.
You need to show something that you've never shown before on anything. You can't just point to the sky. You're going to need to show something.
Why would I point to the sky? You're going to need to show the ice wall.
Saying I'm standing on the ground and it looks flat. That's not proof. Because I'm going to say that in the short distance I can see, sure, it looks flat, but I also can't see 69 miles looking straight ahead though, because there's obstruction, and also my eyes just aren't that good.
So Mikey, you understand? I mean, obviously, this is never going to go anywhere. It's going to be thrown out because you won't know the procedures. But let's imagine that it did actually wind up in trial. You would have the burden of proof. And
okay,
right?
So here's one: loss of companionship.
Wait, what?
For damages, one of them.
Wait,
did you say loss of companionship?
Did you have a companion that the Canadian Space Agency caused you to lose?
Yeah, my family.
No, that's your fault. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
They didn't come into your house and take your family away.
That's not gonna go far there, buddy. I mean, that's why it's so entertaining. Because
that's why I didn't want to read anything to you. It doesn't matter. Everything's just entertaining to you. You know what's entertaining to us is that you lie.
Did the Canadian Space Agency come into your house and take your family away from you? Did they kidnap your family from you, and you're suing to get them back?
I'm not suing them to get them back from that. I'm suing them from conspiring a story.
Okay, but you said the damage was loss of companionship, so you have the burden of proof. You have the burden of proof to show that they caused the lack of companionship, not that you made decisions later that you felt bad about something they did, right? If you lost companionship, you have to show directly that it was their fault, right?
Oh, I forgot to say one more thing. Mikey, I really appreciate you talking to me. Also.
Yeah, again, I don't know why you guys need to worry about it, but it's.
Well, I'm fascinated. I'm interested in your lawsuit, and because it's interesting to me. I'm not going to make fun of. I'm not making fun about it. I'm not going to call you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call you stupid or brainless or anything like that because of your lawsuit, because that's not right. You can sue for anything. You can sue because because somebody didn't make your ham sandwich right.
Yeah,
I'm just interested.
tough bar to win.
And
Yeah, because you have the burden then, of course.
yeah. And so you need, so at that point, you need to prove that the Canadian Space Agency took your, caused your family to say, don't want anything to do with Mikey. I don't know how you're going to do that, because the Canadian Space Agency has probably never been to your house, never been to your mom's house, never been to your dad's house, never been to any of your family. They probably don't even know who you are. You probably sent them hundreds of emails, and they probably still don't know who you are.
Again, you're assuming that I did that. Why do you guys assume so many things?
He said probably. He didn't stake a claim on it.
I probably send them emails every day, probably, right? And I probably did this and probably did that. And
it's like that girl that, you know, she sits on the bus every day and you're like, oh, I wonder. And then like, she's like, oh, who are you? That's it. Right.
Have you ever had contact with the Canadian Space Agency?
Not yet. I just sent the papers.
Okay.
And
okay. I mean, have you ever emailed them anything before? Before this?
Email?
Have you ever emailed them anything before this? Ever phone called them?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
So you just sent and now. Okay, so now I've got another question. Whenever you sent them the papers, how did you send them how did you serve them the lawsuit?
Registered mail.
Oh, good.
Okay. To directly to them?
You've answered. So I only said a couple questions. I've now asked you more than a couple. So I'm going to go ahead and leave now, because you have answered the question I had, and I've already asked more than a couple. Thank you, MCToon. Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah.
I'm going to go troll your crowd now.
All right. Thank you. Well,
I'm not going to troll your crowd today. I'm going to wait till another day.
All right. Well, Mikey, you know, I just want to tell you, Mikey, you like...
Shoot, how do I leave?
There's a button in the bottom right to leave.
God dang, I'm flat earther now.
What you do is you do this, and then you press that button while you're leaving. Oh, he's out. Okay. All right, Mikey. So I just want to let you know, Mikey, like we don't, like, you're not rude like Oakley is. Like you sometimes let your mouth get away from you. And, you know, I can give you a little grace for that. But like Oakley is just a piece of crap every day of his life. But you know what, Mikey, I think that you've got a good heart, and I think that you want to be a good person. Is that okay? Yes. Can I say that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know.
At least you're noticing it anyways. Thank you.
Yeah. So Mikey, I want the best for you. And
oh, I get it.
And at the same time, it's kind of fun to watch because it's a little bit of a train wreck, right? And right, and if it ever makes it to trial, I'll be there if I can. Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mikey, I'll let you go. I was gonna try to have this call be exactly 33 minutes again, but it's oh, you know what? It's only 4 minutes away. So how are you doing, Mikey? We only got 4 minutes to go. Tell me about
hi, MCToon. What's going on?
Tell me about Tim Hortons. Hey, what?
Well, they sell donuts and they sell coffee and
what do you call your currency there?
My currency?
Yes.
What, like Canadian dollars?
Yeah.
What do I call it?
Yeah, like what? Do you have like a nickname for it?
Bullshit. I would call it fake.
Well, no. Do normal, regular, or everyday Canadians have like a nickname for, like, if you're going to give somebody a single coin that is worth $1? What do they call that?
Well, that's a loonie. That's like me. It's a loonie.
Okay, and what if it's worth $2?
Well, then it's a toonie.
Oh, that's so sweet, Mikey. The whole country. Oh, that's precious.
It's a little loony here, a little loony and toony. Like MCToon, it rhymes with MCToon, a little MCToony here.
Do you? Oh yeah, Mallory. Do you know Mallory's Canadian? And last I heard, she was available.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Do you know of Mallory?
No, don't
No.
know her.
She's a flatty. Now, what if we could make a love connection there? I mean, there's a red light girl already that's got the hots for you, but like if that doesn't work out, right?
Yeah, I'm for anything. Doesn't matter to me.
You're for anything. Okay. All right. So I'll just kind of throw that out there for Mallory. Maybe it can turn into something if Jon Snow doesn't go for it.
Mallory.
Yes.
And where's she from?
She lives in Canada land.
In Canada land.
I think Toronto.
Way east. Yeah.
It's near where they speak not American.
Whatever that means.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are some providences in Canada where they speak not American.
Oh. So you think you would have an American accent?
I don't. You do, with the goof, except you say oot and a boot and things like that.
I don't really say that. No.
Well. Anyway, Mallory certainly says oot and a boot. I don't know if she's in Quebec or what. Oh yeah, you probably Mikey, trim your nails. You got to do that. Trim your nails.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that just for you, buddy.
Not for me. Do it for Mallory or Red Light Girl. Red Light Girl's in. 5 seconds. So Mikey, it's been 33 minutes. Anyway, love you, Mikey. Bye. 33 minutes, right on. Okay. We're gonna let in Leslie Rohrer right now, who's been waiting since right away. And it's Santa. Hi, Santa. I know him. I know Santa. Oh, except his Santa doesn't know how to work a microphone. Get my tab going here. Yeah, still there we go.
Yeah, do you hear me?
I got you now. What's up?
Okay, Brother Toon, can you give me a hallelujah?
I'm not really that kind of charismatic.
Brothers and sisters
Pentecostal.
out there, can you give me a hallelujah? The important question tonight, Brother Toon, is: have you reached serial displacement?
I have not. I try, but
I can barely hear you for some reason.
But the frequency, I got to get the frequency. No, it's my fault.
There you. Oh, yes. Oh
no!
All brothers and sisters, help him to find the frequency. Give our Brother Toon the ability to find the frequency.
All right, can you?
I can hardly hear you. I don't know why.
How's this?
That's much better.
There we go. Okay, I gotta make sure I'm not blowing out the looks good on OBS as well. Okay.
There you
go. All right.
So, a friend of mine is here. wave at the people.
Where's the camera?
Right there.
Oh, I can't. I don't see it. Don't see me.
Oh, there's delay. There's a bit of there you are.
Oh, it's like a delay. Okay. Good old Les. He's my buddy right here.
Yeah, I pay him to say that. You understand?
Yeah. Extra for that. Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, good night, Tris.
All right.
Bye-bye. That's a friend, Tris. He helps my sister and I out.
Oh, that's cool.
I need lots of help,
Yes.
He's a good man.
So I got my shelves behind me here.
Yeah.
And I intend to put up lights, but I need to just budget it. And I'm like, oh, next time. But nope. I haven't had a chance. Neither have I had time. But Leslie has designed a circuit board to control the whole thing. So someday I'll get it. So.
Well, I can help you with that. I mean, you're kind of getting the Cadillac there with what we talked about.
Oh yeah,
we can save a lot of money, quite a bit.
Well, if I remember right, like the big budget was the actual lights.
Yes, but yeah, you're kind of getting the Cadillac of the lights as well. I think probably you can save quite a bit, at least 50 to 75%. You could save by going with some less dense lights, and I think they'll do fine.
Well, I'll look at it. It's not time yet. We'll see. But anyway,
I can get you a couple of very short strings, and you can try them and see how they look. Ones that are $2 or $3.
I suppose.
And you can see how they look, and then go with the longer strings once we got that.
So, all right. Anything else?
Oh, I'm just sitting here enjoying the night.
Okay.
Trying to figure out exactly what pathologies Mikey has. There seem to be quite a few of them, actually.
He's got a bunch, but maybe someday he can put some of them aside and move on. So,
were you just absolutely shocked at first of all shocked that he's single?
No, nobody's shocked at that.
Yeah, and were you shocked that he wasn't able to get his telescope to work?
Nobody was shocked at that
either. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's honestly, I feel sorry for him in a way, or as much as I can, I feel sorry for him. But he is amusing.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go to the next one, and to keep it uncluttered, I'll just have one person at a time. So, okay. Anything else?
Well, I need to schedule a class in orbital mechanics for you, but okay.
Yes, you do. So for reference, when I was talking with Fyron, right? Was it Fyron? Yeah.
Yes.
Everything was convoluted talking to him. So
true.
I think things came out wrong.
Yeah, but that's okay.
In the conversation, and they were all muddled. But I don't think I
don't blame you.
Yeah,
I would be muddled if I were talking to him too.
So, all right.
Alrighty.
Thank you. We'll catch you later. Astro Kate's on the way in.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. I don't hear you if you're talking. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent. I am in a hotel room.
On
an iPad. I've never used Zoom on an iPad before.
Okay.
It technically works. So, okay. I looked up Mikey's telescope. So I don't know if I can screen share on the iPad. But he says the Miza, which you can tell is just a wonderfully Chinese brand.
Yes.
And it's $150. It has a 90 millimeter aperture and 800 millimeter focal length. Now, Mikey does not know what a focal length is, which is too bad. But that is how much zoom what Mikey would think of as zoom.
So hold on. I went to Misa's website.
Oh.
They sell telescopes, binoculars, and human hair.
Yes.
I'm not kidding. Misa.org. Oh my goodness. I gotta bring it up. I'm like, he's getting a telescope from a company that also sells human hair. I wish it was a joke, but it's not. It's really, there it is. There's the website.
Oh, I love it.
I can share it so you can see it too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, yeah, I see it.
There you go.
I have my phone up.
So there it is. Here you can buy the telescope.
Oh my God.
Or if you want, you can buy some a sky aqua blue curly short synthetic hairpiece, 12-inch.
I can just imagine Mikey wearing that.
There you go. Mikey, for your bald head, you could get some 14-inch humans hair extensions clip-ins. Or, while you're at the store, pick up some binoculars.
Which are clearly better than telescopes.
Oh my gosh. Because the light just goes straight through. It doesn't go through any mirrors, right? Except it does.
Yeah. So those particular type of binoculars, I forget what they're called, they do go through mirrors. They go boop, boop, boop. And that's why the eyepieces are not aligned with the lenses.
Oh my gosh. Hair extension, hairpiece, telescope, binoculars. That's the four things that Misa sells.
Good job, Mike.
Oh my goodness.
And just to be clear, when Mikey said, I need money for a new computer and new binoculars, I donated right away. I was like, Mikey, you go. You get that binoculars. You get that laptop. You do the thing. So anyway, yeah, so I looked at the telescope. It is not apochromatic. So that was one of his things, right? He wanted something that was apochromatic.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, so apochromatic means that it would correct for chromatic aberration.
Well, yeah.
So
no, he does not want something that corrects for it because he wants to see the chromatic aberration and imagine that it is the firmament.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, I was looking at this. I'm like, God, this thing is a piece of crap. And so it comes with a 3x Barlow lens, which basically, so if you have a normal telescope, one with like an eyepiece, and if it's too small to see what's in the eyepiece, you can essentially add a little magnifying glass at the end called a Barlow lens. Now this thing off the bat has a focal ratio of 8.8, so it's pretty dim. You can only look at...
It's perfect for Mikey.
Yeah, I know exactly. goes great with the user. But with the Barlow lens, it goes up to f/26.6. So, like, the only thing I think you can see in this is the moon.
Wait, it's f/26?
With the 3x Barlow lens, yes.
Oh my goodness. No light is going to get through.
Very little. So that's what I'm saying. So you can see the moon. You could potentially see Jupiter, which is pretty cool, which is better than a standard pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
You can clearly see the moons of Jupiter. And you can maybe see Mars a little bit, but you know, if you do planetary work, you want like 2,000 millimeters of focal length at least.
Yeah.
So this poor Mikey.
So it won't do for him anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
he'd be disappointed no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to donate my telescope equipment for him, but I know whatever I give him, he will say it's fake.
Yeah. Well, he won't know how to use it. That's the other problem.
Well, I wouldn't let Mikey touch my stuff.
But let's say he had an actual budget. He's like, I'm going to purchase this telescope because it's a great telescope to get. He'd get it and be like, Pebcac.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when I put together my telescopes, there's the main telescope. I usually don't grind my own stuff, but you can. It's fine. And then you have to get everything else attached to it. And you have to do all the cable management, all the software. So
wait, there's no cable or software allowed because that's all NASA and CSA CGI.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, I mean, you and I know that, right?
Yes.
What Mikey does not understand is that the human eye is very bad at seeing stuff in space.
But the Android phone camera that he has is super good.
Oh, absolutely. So So what Mikey could do, he could get a sensor connected directly up to a telescope, and it can be cooled and it can be very low noise and have it for the exact same shutter speed as a phone camera, and it would look 1,000 times better, and he'd be able to see those galaxies that he's claiming is not there. But anyway, there's a whole lot that goes into making a telescope. Mikey's definitely not ready for it. So.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. How do you deal with this? I mean, sure.
Hey, this is funny. I never thought that I would see a website that sells both telescopes and hair. Yes. How is this the world we live in?
I don't know.
I don't get it. That, like, why there's no overlap?
No.
Maybe it's a husband and wife team. Like, the guy's like, I'm into telescope, and she's like, I'm into hair. Well, let's put up a website.
No, I know exactly what it is. So it is a website for products for AliExpress.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been onto AliExpress before?
Yes.
It is nothing but wigs, terrible clothes, and telescopes.
Yep. I've bought a few things from there. Actually, I have. Hold on. I've got.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Hold on. Let me get.
Okay.
I got it. I should have asked Mikey about my about these.
Old Dutch ketchup. What?
Ketchup chips, yes.
Oh, we have those, but they're from like northern China.
So this, I think I got from AliExpress. It's a power supply. What was this for? Yeah, it's a specific power supply, right? It's a barrel plug there. Mm-hmm. And then it was for, so I got some LED lights for a different project. So, yeah. And then, here is the barrel plug to whatever, to this adapter that came with it. Then hold on.
That's amazingly cheap. I love it.
Yeah, super cheap. And then, because these were not, this is LED lights. I guess I could make myself bigger so people can see what it is that I actually have. Hold on. I got the, hold on. Setting up the scene. Professional at work here. Okay. So this is LED ice blue.
Are you sure you're showing the LEDs on your channel?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Never mind. I'm just delayed.
And this is daylight. And then, so I was gonna make and this is warm white. So I was gonna make lights to go on either side, but I just wound up buying ring lights that you can see them in my glasses reflecting.
Yeah.
It was a project I never did. Oh my gosh, the ketchup chips still smell.
Oh God.
So I have the ketchup chips because Punchy came to visit me in March of 2020. Mm-hmm. And then and he brought ketchup chips because ketchup chips are a thing in Canada. And I tried them, and for like 2 or 3 years I'd try them every once in a while. But I gave up trying them.
They're good. I mean, they're not bad.
2 years in, they're not.
Really?
Well, they've been opened and they're still crispy. Something's weird. But anyway, so Punchy was here. We're gonna go see Dragon Force, and we went out to lunch, and for some reason people are like, oh yeah, England is gonna close its borders today. So Dragon Force is like, hey, we're canceling the show and flying home. And then he came to my work, and I'm sitting at work and we're watching all the headlines, and I'm like, Mikey, Punchy, you need to drive home or you might not get back home. It was the day everything shut down.
Oh, wow.
So, and
that sucks.
So he made it before midnight. Mm-hmm. If he had made it after midnight, he would have had to taken a mandatory 2-week paid vacation. So he's like, I should have been home later.
That does not sound too bad.
Well, you didn't know at the time. It's like, you're going to be stuck on the side of the road and it's going to be zombie apocalypse.
Well, Speaking of vacations, the coolest thing happened to me this morning.
Okay.
So I was flying. So right now I'm in Redmond, Washington. I took off from San Jose, and I was in line to get to the airplane, and I'm past the cashier person, not the person who like reads the tickets, and instead of my normal seat, the guy scans my ticket and says, "Go to 4C."
Oh, that's in
first class.
First class. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for it or anything. They just had an extra first class seat, and I got chosen.
Wow.
Yeah. Got free breakfasts and everything. It was cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was flying with friends, with work people to London, and they're like, they saw somebody they knew, right? And this lady's like, "Oh, I got you covered," and I'm like, right? No, I was in the back.
Oh.
I was in the back the whole flight, and they're up in first class. So like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, why not? All right, so next week you are doing a talk.
Week from Thursday. A week from Friday is my talk. Yeah.
Are you excited?
I am. Yes.
So do you have all the slides ready to go for the talk?
I updated. Yes, I have a custom version of the presentation that I've done. I'll probably customize, run through it again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be a blast. I think people should show up and give you support.
Yes, if anybody's in the area, I get exactly 2 comp tickets. One went to my wife and one went to Kate. So you're on your own. If you want to come in, the tickets are like 300 something. So if you want to pay 300 something to see me talk, you know what? Just give me $300 and I'll come talk to you afterwards in person.
So the other thing too, it's a hacking conference. If you can sneak in, I think that's worth bonus points.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, the one we went to in Florida was not hard to sneak into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know. I saw the venue, and it looks like it's in some old brewery.
Yeah, it's in like an industrial section right next to like where the train tracks go through between Minneapolis and St. Paul. And so when you drive, like when I've been in the Summit area and I'm driving up to 94, where that's at, and like the stuff on the north side of the freeway there where it's at is all just like run down industrial buildings. And so when I saw that venue, I'm like, oh, so they must have like redone it because everything there is a dump except this place. I'm looking at pictures, like it's pretty cool. So
yeah, well, I mean, it's seedy. I got to say that. Usually, these conferences are at hotels. Actually, they're almost always at hotels.
Yeah,
I've never seen one at a brewery or a rundown place. I've seen a few that are like in shopping mall type things, but this will be a new experience.
Yeah. And I'm on stage 2. Where we were both on stage 1 at Hack SpaceCon, so I guess I'm getting downgraded here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So at Hack SpaceCon, unfortunately, so some of the people in your audience were there, and they saw both of us. So I did a talk on a fake satellite that runs the real flight software that you can hack into and do all this fun stuff. And of course, you did the Flat Earth talk, which I'm sure Dave was very happy to hear.
Yes. He does. He's a full-on ostrich. He doesn't look at anything that contradicts him.
He can't. I mean, I'm sure because I sort of have this idea that there's this psychological blockage. His money comes from scamming people through Flat Earth.
Yeah.
So he cannot have that thought bubble up because that would hurt him financially, right? He can't be like, oh, what if the globe is right? Because then he would get hurt and he wants to protect himself. So anyway, I hope you get your 6 Bitcoins. I mean, or somebody gets it.
Well, that'll go to Critical Think, but that's not the only time he's given criteria. If you watched that video today, there are other times where he has given criteria. How do I know? Well, I'm a programmer and I have all of his videos.
Excellent. So I do have bad news. I think this has been brought up in court before, and I don't think it has gone well for the litigants. Like if a scammer says, "Oh, yeah,"
that there was a case that Mikey was talking about I think it was in Georgia, and it was a $5,000 challenge, and the challenge was a little poorly worded, but the guy that brought it didn't actually bring anything other than a program. He brought some software that did some computation, which isn't evidence.
Right.
But the case was thrown out. Nobody won the case. It was thrown out. So there's no exchange of money and no decision by the judge to say you won. But flat earthers don't read the actual case. They just hear what somebody else says about it, and they what they hear is that the globe earther sued for the money and did not get the money, which is true, but they did not win. The flat earther did not win. Nobody won.
Which is usually what happens in these types of cases.
Yes.
I mean, no judge is going to be like, this person is in his right mind. Yeah, you were trying to squeeze blood from a stone, trying to get money out of Dave. Although I will say,
a potato,
yes, trying to squeeze blood from a potato. I will say, Dave does drive a Mercedes. He does seem to have cash.
Yeah.
The U.S. government does not think he has cash, though.
Yes.
Which is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't think that he should pay taxes on the money that he scams from flat earthers that are gullible. So there you go. All right. Well, I should move on here, and I got some super chats to read, but thank you, Kate. Appreciate it.
I will see you next week.
Yes, that'll be good. All right.
All right. See ya.
All right, I got coming up, let's see, Carla will be next, but let me read a couple things here quick. We got Icy Spin, who's also coming up, who's on deck after Carla, says, why return a telescope before testing it, Mikey? He doesn't know how to test it. That's the problem. I don't think he quite can handle that. Liquid Flame says, Mikey, how high are you in your videos? Your eyes are always super red. I don't know. Ramen Ortiz, the Flurf is here, says, I thought the Earth was an oblate spheroid. Oops, it is an oblate spheroid. Why did you think that was? Why would you say that? Oh, because you saw the full globe there. Are you incapable of looking up the difference between the polar radius and the equatorial radius? Like nobody thinks you're smart for not understanding that the difference is so slight that you wouldn't see it in that there. Like you're not showing that you're smart. You're showing that you're dumb, Ramen. Right? You are bragging about how stupid you are, but I do appreciate that you paid $2 to brag about being stupid. Thank you for that. Itorius says, I'd be happy to work with Mikey and teach him how to properly focus his telescope / binocs to look at the stars. Well, I could give you his email address. So I'll send him an email and see if he's interested in receiving some help. But it's like he's an unwilling student is the problem. So Monkey Cat Pat Pat says, hey Mikey, if you bring the new telescope to court for evidence on the fake nonsense the CSA hurt you with, lack of companionship, loss of companionship. Ramen Ortiz says, satellite of the blue marble, not oblate spheroid. Again, he paid $2 again to highlight his ignorance. Thank you very much, Ramen. I appreciate it. Monkey Cat Papa says, Mikey, can you please unblock me from your chat? Mikey, if you're still listening, Monkey Cat Papa would love to be in your chat. You should just unblock everybody, Mikey. People want to not be censored. I mean, you're not for censorship, Mikey. Earthly Skeptic says, Mikey, what's the firmament color and does it leak? Does it leak? Like, yeah, how does it keep all that water back? Jack Fetter says, imagine the damage done to Mikey. So severe he can't remember even one. Opposing counsel will love this factoid. It shows just how damaged he was. Or wasn't. Yadawat says, whose test did Mikey cheat from to get 9 damages? Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Jack Fetter says, he may not say it, but I will. You are dumb, Mikey. Stupid, devoid of intellect, brainless, clueless, lacking IQ, in need of gray matter. Adult. There you go, Mikey. And if you don't like that, let me say this. If somebody gives you an insult and you're like, I don't like that insult, don't be that. Make sure none of those things are true. And if somebody thinks that of you, right? We all can do this. We can all take this to heart. If somebody says something, we can ask ourselves, is that true? We all can, right? Wade Eberly says, 1 loony, 1 toonie, which is what? So a loony is $1 and a toonie is $2. Toonie, 2. See, get that? PhD Tony says, Mikey is not stupid. That level of intellectual agility is beyond him. All right. Derek T says, Mikey would get that hair, but he'd have a toupee. Maybe you could glue it on. Or just get a full-on wig. And Jack Vetter says, just buy Mikey a second cheap telescope. Let him strap the two together and use them like binoculars. Add the Magic Galaxy S23 and he'll be set. Absolutely. All right, Carla is on the way in. Is this... Oh, this isn't Carla. This is... Are you connecting here? I think I hear a little audio.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Mike, my name's actually Bob. The Carla, that's my wife's name.
Yes.
She's the one that usually uses Zoom on this laptop. So
sorry
about that.
That's okay.
I just thought this is my first time checking in.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say how much I appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you very much.
Into a great resource for anybody.
How did you find the channel?
I've been looking at especially flat earthers probably for over a decade now.
Okay.
And then of course started looking at all the responses to the flat earthers. And I came across you at some point in the YouTube feeds. I go back kind of a long ways, at least a decade now. I remember some of the early guys. I just checked just before I wanted to get on with you to see if some of them were still out there. And a few of them are. The first flat earther that I ever saw on YouTube was a guy, J. Henning Kalogia. I don't know if you've ever...
I have not heard of
one.
No.
Yeah, he was the first one. He had like 10 proofs of flat earth or something. And then there's another one out there you may have heard of, Stinky Cash.
Oh, yeah.
Heard of him, probably.
Hold on, J. Henning. Then, I want to write this down. J. Henning, what was the last name?
Kalogia. His actual name is Jay Henning. I think the rest of it is like Kellogg IA for Iowa. So it's like Jay Henning Kellogg and then IA.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's still out there. I just checked. Okay. I don't know what he's doing these days, but just it made me think going back how long things have been, developing, and then. Of course, obviously, you went to Antarctica and kind of did the. That was great. I wish I could have contributed more to it, but what you gonna do? So and also, just so you know, I had over the years sometimes emailed with Jaron, and I kept it up because he was the one. I can't say I knew he was gonna change, but. he always impressed me because he was one of the few that actually got out there and tried to do things.
Yeah. Yep.
So at one point, though, we broke it off probably before the COVID. And but I sent him a message because at one point, I think I was getting mad at him in the emails. So I actually apologized to him for getting mad. And he actually responded and say, yeah, he was sorry for kind of not listening. So I thought that was pretty cool.
See, he was destined to get out because he's a decent person.
Yeah, I think he really, really cares about what he conveys to people.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure there for a while because he obviously wasn't listening back then. But yeah, my only other claim to fame is participating in Sly Sparkane's experiment. I was one of the 23.
Oh, that was my first video.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
the cool thing about that was I did my measurements in inches, right? Height of the post and then height or length of the shadow.
Yeah.
Sent it to Sly. I had no idea what the answer was going to come out to be
at
the time. So I couldn't fake it. And I've got the original video showing me setting it up and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I had no idea. And of course, it turned out to be one of the 23 that showed. I love it when he rolled it out at the end from the flat plane. He rolled it up into a...
Yeah. The animation is pretty cool.
So cool.
So for those interested, Simon Dan is doing encouraging people to do a measurement here, I think this month on the solstice. And to measure the angle to the sun from wherever you are. So I did it a couple years ago on both solstices and equinoxes. So I'll probably just send in my measurements.
Wait, that reminds me of Dr. Zach. He had done something with the angles, doing from what was it, Johannesburg and then Germany or something, and. That was, I've only got a few videos out there that I did way back like a decade ago. And one of them was like attacking him because his stuff was wrong. And then he actually responded to me. It was like, why? I have no, right? Why would he respond? But he did. And in his response, he made a mistake. So I responded to his response.
Did he acknowledge it? And then what did he do?
After that, I think he blocked me and everything. So yeah, he actually, it was funny because it wasn't a big mistake, but it was a mistake. He like mislabeled one of the latitudes by like 2 degrees or something.
Okay.
So I redid my diagram. I did a nice little diagram with all the angles measured and stuff to show that I could get parallel lines shooting out to the sun. And sure enough, of course, they were parallel lines.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that was good. All right. I'll let you go. Thank you for talking to me, and maybe I'll get on maybe some other time.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We got Icy Spin. Eric Burns is on deck. Is that some Mikey in the background?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Toon? How are you?
I'm good. Oh,
like
poor
it?
Mikey. That's great.
I've done every color that I could come up with in 15 seconds, so I thought it was pretty.
Yeah, all that
color.
chromatic aberration.
Way too much. So yeah, we've been following Mikey, CK Monkey Cat Pat Pat and I.
Yep.
For I don't know, the last 3 or 4 months now, like pretty regularly, like I don't know. He streams only once or twice a week now, or maybe more.
And he deletes about half of them.
Yeah, and so that's really what I started doing is I started like keeping up with his streams to make sure that we had it for documentation purposes, and so because at some point we're gonna have to run the reel, I guess, if he keeps deleting them. He's like you said, half of them are gone, I'm sure.
Yeah,
for this year at least. But yeah, we I guess we have like a few things. I think that number one, he does this thing where if you say anything that is even slightly offensive, first of all, he misinterprets every single thing that's ever said to him, right? But if you tell him, hey, Mikey, you might want to crack that door, like, so the neighbors can't hear something, banned immediately, right?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, Mikey, just say excuse me when you sneeze, gone. So I think we've all probably had 3 to 4 stock accounts on his behalf up to this point, but you can't get YouTube Premium on all of them. That costs a lot of money. So I can't be listening in the background, but yeah, and then so yeah, it'd be nice if he would. I know he's probably watching this, or at some point he will. It'd be nice, Mikey, if you could go through your
unblock
list, at least let some of us off that. We follow him because we care about him, right? Like, it's obviously entertainment, and I think you expressed the same sentiment like 5 or 6 minutes ago, but that is what it is. Like, he's got this misconception about globe earthers, I think, and just people in general. He thinks that we're all kind of we all think he's stupid, and we like don't we just want to like tear down his belief for whatever reason, or we have a personal attack against him. And obviously, besides the entertainment factor, I mean, he's a likable dude. Like, I think one-on-one, if you just had a beer with him, or if he'd probably be like a fun dude to just, kick it with for a little bit. But
yeah,
he's got something inside of him that's like, it like wants to come out every now and then, where he's got some, there's some like desire to just like be good. He feels like he's doing the right thing, right? But it's activism. He stays on top of it, right? You can't really hate on him for that. He's definitely putting the effort in, but
yeah, and Ironworks 92,000 is not putting in the effort.
That's right. So that was a fantastic little mini saga in between everything else. But God, it's just you really can't get enough of the Flurfaction. When that comes along, you just have to cancel all your plans.
It's the best. Yeah, the hot Flurfaction. You got to say hot.
That's right. Well, yeah, at the very least, on Friday nights, we turn it up over on Mike over IP screen for sure. And I'd say hot is a very, very mild term for what goes on in that chat sometimes. But for Flurfaction, yeah, there's no substitute. It's definitely a hot time. Got your popcorn for sure. And he's got to stop telling kids that Santa doesn't exist. I mean, what the heck is that?
He does that?
Have you seen him do this?
No.
Oh, yeah. He did it a couple weeks ago on a live stream because he wanted to just make a point that the NASA's lying to us, and like your parents, they don't want to have to listen to what I have to say about flat Earth. So I'm just going to tell your kids that Santa doesn't exist. Like, that's so screwed up. Like, you can't do that.
Don't mess with other people's kids. Yeah, if you want to, you screw up your own kids. Fortunately, he doesn't have any.
And he has no desire to either, from what he says on several occasions. So, but I think he's probably, I don't know. I think he's just so focused on flat Earth, and I think he's probably confused by a lot of stuff that's thrown at him every week. He feels like he's getting pulled in every direction, and he can't find any evidence really, and so that's
a bit of a problem. But he's got a picture of the firmament, man.
He could just give the telescope thing. Have you ever ordered a telescope tune and you thought to yourself when it was sitting in the living room, I just don't. I don't like the way my phone mount sits on this. So that's the last straw. I'm just, Amazon will take free returns. It's done. Like, this is the last straw. I can't even stand it anymore.
How long did he try? Like 10 minutes? An hour? I don't know.
The phone mount to work too, but that was like he was like, you know what? I'm just done with it. Like he was complaining about how the aluminum little eyepiece, right? He's like, this is basically paper, and it's like, dude, it's just an eye ring. Just attach it to it. Of course, he does it. It's as stable as you've ever seen. When you watch the video back, I mean, it's fine. And he actually says that to that effect, like for a minute. He's like, oh, okay, and then he's just like, no. Guys, I'm just telling you, I'm done with it. It's like, come on, dude, you just accomplished what you were trying to do. But and one other PSA for Mikey. Mikey, we do care about you, and I know you don't have a lot of trust in medicine and people that have an expertise that you and I don't have, but I really do think you should actually try and go see somebody and get somebody to look at your toe, which has become famous now. Or there's a couple of YouTubers, I'm not real sure, I can't recall off the top of my head, but that mention it from time to time. But we mention it, you know, it's fun, it's all good and fun, but at the end of the day, you know, you've got a condition that you should take seriously, and it's not great to not have feeling in your feet every day, right? It's kind of an issue that you should address at some point. So I really would like it if he would go and get somebody to look at it. I know that they keep calling him sometimes during live streams, and they're interrupting and bothering him, and he's, you know, oh, it's the specialist again calling, ha ha ha, I'll laugh it off.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, come on, guy, like, you know, just give it a shot. You need, at some point he was doing insulin too. I saw that in an old live stream, so I was happy for that. I don't know if he's still doing it, but
he like he said that they've given him pills. Like, is it metformin that they gave him, or
I
do we
saw
think
syringes? I saw a very blurry image, and I was able to like piece it together with the reverse image search that it was insulin needles that he had at some point, just like on his countertop.
So giving himself insulin shots.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, I'm not sure, like if that's, I would guess that sometimes you would carry an EpiPen for emergencies, but maybe you do the syringes on a regular basis for one of the types, I guess. I'm not sure, but I don't know to what extent he's still taking care of that part of it.
Yeah, I think it depends how bad it is. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know much, but I know the people, I worked with a guy that had it. Mm-hmm. And metformin was what he was supposed to take, and he was a bit like Mikey, a bit of a conspiracist, and he did not want to take it, and so he was out looking for miracle cures in other places, and eventually he died from complications from diabetes. And a good friend of mine from work,
that's terrible. Isn't that, I don't know if was it Nodell? Did he have complications with diabetes?
The details are not clear, but yeah, that's what the thought was. His feet and legs were not functioning well. He could not walk very well. Like his wife would like massage them to get blood flow.
Yeah. And
this was discovered during a live stream in one of the events that they did. And it was one of the kind of nutter, you know, naturopath fake doctors that was on there, but knew enough to know that if you have diabetes, or you're like, if you have to get your legs and feet massaged in order to function, you need to get professional help. And so like, derailed the whole conference on that topic for a little bit of time. And Jaren's like, I don't know. I didn't have it. It wasn't me. It was her. So.
Yeah. And you know what? Speaking of Jaren, you know, you guys did the final experiment. I still think that I think it's 2038. I mentioned it a couple times. It's sometime in December, like December 21st, 2038. There's going to be a full eclipse at Union Glacier. I'm like, that would be a great round too.
Let's go.
Something we can all shoot for, right? 13 years.
I'd love that.
Yeah, I'll be old but yeah, that would be fantastic.
I'll still be 13.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. And you'll still be putting up the $100,000 if any flurf can knock you down around then, I think.
I'm safe.
So far, it's crickets, huh? Yeah.
Well, one lady who I like pretended like she wanted to do it. I'm like, all right, we're gonna have a video call. She's like, I'm not going to be in a video call. Like, if you're going to go to Antarctica and you won't do a video call, there's something wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have 100,000 to put down. So
it's always like, you know, I would tell you, but I'm not going to say any names. You know, this special doctor told me, oh, I'm not going to say any names, or you know, the scientist that was there last week that you know debunked the entire globe. I want to protect his privacy. He doesn't really want to flaunt his victory.
Yeah. Also, it's that girlfriend, and she goes to a different school. nuts in a different state.
And she's totally hot. And she's a cheerleader. And
yeah.
Varsity.
I got a picture of her here. It's there you go. Wait, why is this a clipping from a magazine? Oh, she's a model. Didn't I tell you that? Yeah. She's a model. But don't you have a real picture of her? Well, like you? No. Her contract doesn't allow it. Sure it does.
Of course.
Why is this got a patina on it? Never mind. Give me that back.
There's always a roadblock, to the truthers. Can't get through to them. So, well, anyways, thanks for letting me stop by and finally get to talk to you one-on-one.
Yes, it was. So. You were. I don't know where it was. Like I was on the way out. You're on the way in, or something like that. I'm like, I gotta head out.
Oh yeah. That was on Max's channel before that whole empire kind of crumbled and he's rebuilding it. But that was super cool what you did yesterday, though. To sacrifice the rest of your show for him, so I thought that was cool.
I would love his channel to get monetized quickly, and he's got the subscribers and just needs the view time. So
yeah, and he's a big contributor in our community. So we always
he's a good guy. He helped me a bunch for the trip. So he called the hotel for me to get a couple things figured out for me because they can speak English, but they're better at Spanish, and so
right. Yeah, that's cool. And that was a good benefit of having Elizabeth around for ordering plates of food and stuff.
It was basically finding restaurants was very helpful. Like she'd go in, talk to them, and then come out like it won't work here. Let's go somewhere else. So
right, or it's all taken care of. We've handled the whole thing, and it took her 14 seconds. So it's taken.
We wouldn't have known what to do. Basically, there was this one restaurant, and we all just wanted to go to that restaurant all the time after we figured it out because it was such a good place. But yeah, the one time we went one day, and they're like, this is all we have. Like they only had like 2 things out of the whole menu because it was the deliveries weren't that day or something. So
cool. All right, man. Well, I've enjoyed my time. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, we got Eric Burns and Algorithm is on deck. So Evil Producer 1 says, I'm no conspiracy nut, but there's a study on the NIH website that suggests metformin can contribute to long-term neuropathy. I have neuropathy, and I showed my doctor the study and was okay.
All right, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, I don't have my camera because I just recently moved to a new apartment and I can't find my camera. So
I could get a picture. I get a picture of you and me when we met in Florida. I don't have it handy though.
Yeah, so I'm just still laughing at Mikey with his telescope from the same website that has human hair being sold as well.
Yep. Binoculars, telescopes, and human hair.
He just what he needs to do if he wants to try and prove something is fake, get a C-Star S50 or S30, which are not that expensive of telescopes, and prove that those are fake because those are controlled by your phone.
Yeah, is that that's the one like that Caitlin brought to the restaurant?
That was an S50 that she had.
Okay.
Yeah, the S50 is the larger of the two. S30 is a little smaller, a little cheaper, but has a wider field of view.
Okay.
But I have an S50 at my place right now, and it's very, very nice. But yeah, the new place that I moved to, there's I'm actually right across the street from a cattle ranch, and I want to figure out who owns that cattle ranch because that would be a perfect spot to go set up my telescope at night. Because there's no trees, no lights or anything. It's just like, can I please just go here?
You can probably, if you know the county that you live in, you can probably go just Google county name, land records, and then go to that website. And then often they have a map, and just an interactive map where you can find it, click on it, and then find the owner, because all the owners of all property is public.
Yeah. But yeah, I just moved across town pretty much, and now finally have a place of my own. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And
school year's over, so it's summer break.
What do you do? What do you do in the summer now? So that was your first year teaching, right?
Yes, that was my first year as a high school teacher. This summer is going to be spent for a little bit taking a break because I definitely need it after the school year. And then I'll also be like revising all of my notes and everything for next year, just so everything's ready to go.
Yep.
Because the first year of teaching was pretty much, I was like one day ahead in notes the entire school year. And now I'll finally have it all ready to go beforehand.
That makes sense. Yeah. And like, I basically 2 years, 3 years in, you're like, you don't have to do anything anymore. It's all covered, right?
Yeah.
No, not really. No. I know that. So awesome. So
I somehow had no angry parents emailing me this year. I had a couple helicopter parents email me and being like, "Hey, why is my kid's grade not doing well?" It's like, "Oh, because they didn't do any of the assignments."
Well, that does it.
Yeah.
But you said that you had some kid that was maybe had some flat earth parent or something.
Oh, yeah. At the very beginning of the school year, the student asked me a couple questions that sounded very like flat earthy or sounded a little bit conspiracy theory-esque. And I'm like, where did you learn this? Like, where did you hear this? Like, oh, my dad, he doesn't think that space is real.
Was that a joke?
No, that she was serious that her dad was like that. Because we had not like parent teacher conferences, but we had like a night where like parents would come and visit the classrooms, whatever. And I was actually kind of hoping that he was going to be there so then I could figure out if it was actually true that he was like a flat earther or something, and he never showed up.
Yeah. All right. I got an interesting comment here from Gigi. Says, "What's up with your boy Ozian? He's not my boy. Maybe be careful when you chill and protect pedos." I didn't protect him. As soon as I found out that he was that, I'm like, no chance, right? But Max was on the front line of that, and Max confronted him on the topic, and from everything I saw, did spectacularly well putting that piece of trash in his place. So I don't know why you think I would have any culpability in that instance there. GG. I didn't do anything. I had no knowledge of it. And some random on the internet saying things, whether or not you did, I don't have any recollection. Does nothing, right? Saying some guy is something is nothing. You know, if there was something and you sent it to me and I didn't take action on it, well, that would be something. And so if you did, then point out where you sent that to me, and I'll see what my culpability might be. But yeah, as it is now, I didn't protect him. So I don't know why it's such a weird thing. Like when our community has the reaction that we did, swift and decisive, that somehow somebody can come in and say that it wasn't right, or somehow make assertions about what protection was done. Stupid.
You had no idea what he was like.
No.
And you learned about it and then completely dropped him.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, there's a guy called Authentic Intent that is a flat earther who, at the age of 35, got busy with a 14-year-old three times and was convicted, is a felon. Joshua Swift is his name. So, and he still is in good graces with flat earthers. When Austin Whitsitt was in Minneapolis, yes, he lives in the Minneapolis area. When Austin was in Minneapolis, Joshua Swift showed up and they hung out all buddy together. If you know, somebody like that showed up at one of my events, and to my knowledge, I'd be like, yeah, you can get the hell out of here. So the flatties do love their hypocrisy.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah, and I'm just to be very clear that I'm not doing this. I'm not just saying things. I do have the court case. So there it is. Make sure this is the one. There it is. All right. Linked in the chat there is the case for Joshua Swift. That's his actual appeal. He tried to appeal the decision, and it was turned down. So there you go. Anyway,
yeah, with being a teacher now, though, it is very funny how I can just say to flat earthers that are on like live chats, whatever, I can just say you are failing my class, and I would be genuine that they would be failing my class because I teach astronomy.
Yeah.
And it's always funny when they try to say that I'm a liar or anything. It's like, oh, I mean, I've literally used data from the Hubble telescope, and you can go and get that data yourself because it's free online.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting because NASA by rule has to do a whole lot of things, leave it in public. There's no need to audit NASA because it gets audited. I mean, you could go get some accountants, I guess, and go run over the numbers yourself. But of course, I don't think that's what Austin meant when he wanted to audit NASA. Right. I don't think he wanted to get the financials of, I think he wanted to audit in a different manner, but it was, I don't know, maybe a little unclear.
Yeah, it's just insane. And it's just hilarious how it's like, now I'm the one that is the liar to all of the flat earthers. So I'm the one spreading the lies.
Of course, they have no evidence for that. So
yeah,
whatever.
Well, one thing that happened at the this was just a funny thing that happened at like the very beginning of the school year. In like my last class of the day, there's like a group of kids where like one of them was really like in that group was always like the butt of the joke like every single time with that friend group. And one time I just bust out laughing because it was so funny. And he was like, "What? It's like Mr. Burns, this is like bullying right here." And I just laughed because I was him when I was in high school. I was the butt of the joke for like all of my friend group all the time.
Never.
I was like, this is an out of body experience right here, watching it from the outside.
All right. So Gigi Gigi says he emailed me. Well, tell you what, email me again or give me your email address so I can look at what you sent me. Right? Anyway, never would anybody in our group be the butt of a joke. Would we? I think that the smart kids sometimes are the awkward ones at times, right?
Yep. And then I was laughing at the whole like the girlfriend that goes to another high school thing, because my senior year I actually did have a girlfriend that went to another high school.
Sure,
but my friends did actually meet her. My friends did actually get to meet her. So.
I just love that though. Just that the classic like, yeah, your girlfriend goes to a different school, right? Sure, she does. Because I knew that kid too, and he was complete. All that stuff I've said, that's straight from him.
Oh,
like the she's a model, so she can't have. So she's contractually obligated not to take pictures. That I didn't make that up. That was that kid that made that up.
That's hilarious.
And how did they meet? Oh, well, she was getting attacked by a group of people, and I picked her up and carried her off into safety and fought them off.
God.
Seriously. And this kid had no capability to fight anybody off or pick up a hot chick and run away with her. All right. Gigi appears to not be about to send me an email so I can search through my old emails about Ozian. Okay, well, hold on.
Gigi, just type what your email is in chat, and then so he can Control F and search for your email.
Let's see. Let me search back through emails about... okay. Is this... okay, so here's one from January of 2024. Questioning his veracity of things he said. Okay, well, I don't think that's it. Gigi. I'm not going to put it on screen, Gigi. Just send me another email so I know your email address so I can look at your previous email and then I'll have it and I won't bring it up unless it needs to be brought up.
Or just go to that email that you sent to Toon,
reply
to all, and then it'll show up right at the top of his email.
Yeah, so somebody's talking about a potentially Ozian purchasing subscriptions. Right, and yeah, he may have. That there were. Well, this doesn't actually look like it. So one thing that YouTube doesn't give you full granularity to seeing the number of subs. They increment in tens, so they give you a certain number of sig fig, and that's it. So if you have, if you're adding 1 or 2 or 3 subscribers a day, you'll see days of 0 subs, 0 subs, 0 subs, 10 subs, 0, 0, 0, 10. Right? And so whoever this was, I don't think it's the same person because there's no consistency to the name. But that's a normal thing. But there has been accusations of him buying subs, and like, okay, sure. But that's a whole different thing than what he actually did do. So, is that you, Gigi? Was that you that sent the email about subs? Seriously. It's as Dave Weiss would say, a nothing burger in relation to this topic.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything really to relate to that part.
Yeah. Like buying subs is a whole different thing. All right. He wants to do it in private later. All right, fine. Anyway, I got algorithm on deck here. Anything else you got, Eric?
Nope, just summer break now and finally moved into my new place. So
awesome.
And my cat is actually happy moving to a new place. So happy about that.
That's good.
All right, well, see ya and be in the chat, I guess.
All right, thanks, Eric. All right, we got algorithm, or I can never pronounce the actual name that you have there.
Algorithm.
Algorithm. All right.
I'm going to turn your volume up because the Zoom is much quieter than YouTube is.
Okay, I have to sneeze. I think.
What is? Bless you.
All
Becky
right.
Smith always reminds me of the last verse from "Blinded by the Light."
You'll have to remind me.
Because some kidnapped handicap was complaining that he caught the clap from some mousetrap he bought last night. While I unsnapped his skull cap in between his ears, I saw a gap and figured he'd be all right. He was just blinded by the light. That was like a deuce, another runner in the night. This lovable guy who was, you unsnap his coat, right? That's Mikey.
Yeah.
I want to know how the hell Bruce Springsteen knew Mikey Smith.
How did they meet?
People like that in the world at the same time. Number two is I was camping in a campground on the Pacific coast of the Olympic Peninsula. The campground is called South Beach. It's right off the highway. It's very exposed. It's right. It's on a little bluff right over the Pacific Ocean. And as the sun was setting, I could see a shadow going up the trees to my east.
How? How could that happen?
Until right before the sun set, the trees were completely in shadow. There was no direct sunlight on the trees. And my question to flat earthers is, what was casting that shadow?
They say perspective. I've actually heard them say perspective causes the path the light takes to change. No kidding.
Is it not amazing the stuff they'll cook up?
Yes. What an amazing time to live in.
Anyway, those are the only two things I had. If you have someone else on deck, otherwise we can chat for a while.
There's nobody else on deck, so this is your chance if you want to pop in, anybody. But what algorithms have you been writing to recently?
Lots of integration tests.
Yeah?
Like thousands of them. Yes.
Any more than that, or is it all gotta work stuff?
That's all work stuff. But I am the person who's primarily responsible for making sure that these tests all run on the Mac.
Okay.
Amongst a group of engineers, most of them who use Windows. So they write these tests, they check them in, and the tests break when they run on the Mac, and they're like, "Hey, Al, can you tell me what's wrong here?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure." So that's mostly what I've been doing lately.
Yeah. Are these GUI apps, or are they command line apps that run on the Mac?
It's GUI apps.
GUI apps, okay.
It's a well-known GUI app.
Okay.
I can walk up the aisle of an airplane and see people using this app.
The aisle of an airplane?
Yes. People with their laptops, they'll be using this app.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but
that means it's widely used.
Oh yeah, I guess, but okay. Now I'm trying to figure out what that is, but
that's a cool thing.
Yes, it is. It is cool to see your stuff being used out in the wild.
Walk up the aisle of an airplane, see people running code that you wrote. And it's like,
yeah, that is cool. My code runs on a server, so I don't see that. But knowing that all the emails flowing through this company went through code that I wrote, that is pretty cool.
That is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that people use this stuff is.
Yeah. There's a billboard. That email address on the billboard will go through my code.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. That is cool. Yeah.
So those are the algorithms. It's strange. I write almost as much Python code as I do C++ code.
Yeah.
But I get really esoteric in both spaces, like recursive template definitions in C++, and list comprehensions to flatten two lists, or a list of lists that were created using a list comprehension.
In Python?
In Python.
Oh. What?
If you have enough food, if your list comprehension foo is good enough to do that, you're pretty experienced with Python.
Yeah, I don't think I'm. What do you say it again?
Using list comprehension to flatten a list of lists that was created using list comprehension.
Okay. That is a bit recursive.
Yes. And of course, to fit my name, the algorithm to understand recursion is?
Yeah.
If you understand recursion, stop. Otherwise, understand recursion.
That's right. That's how to understand recursion. All right. Well, we
I also we need to give a shout out to Professor Phil Bell, who apparently had an incident at a field job that he was working on and has injured his back.
Oh no!
Yeah, he discovered that gravity works.
Oh, that's no fun. I wish it didn't work.
But, you know, I've always wondered why gravity works harder near me than it does anywhere else.
What's this? Friezo Gorder says curl bug fixes submitted years ago are currently sitting on Mars.
Curl bug fixes? I don't work on curl.
Well, Friezo Gorder might, but or maybe this is just trivia that there are bug fixes to curl that were so if you don't know, curl is a program, like a command line program, to go get the contents of a URL. It's URL, so it goes and grabs the URL. So bug fixes to curl, which is a open source app, I'm taking that to mean that there is an implementation of curl sitting on the Mars rover, and the bug is sitting on the Mars rover, and it hasn't gotten the bug patch that has fixed the bug of the code, the version of the code sitting on the rover, and it might never get it, considering that they don't send a lot of bug fixes out to Mars.
Yeah, well,
interesting. Yeah.
So, what was the guy you had on the other night who was using his transit to measure angles to stars over Pikes Peak?
Yes.
I have to confess, I fell asleep in the middle of his presentation.
So it's a very convoluted thing, and I don't fully understand it. I think Jesse is maybe the only person in the world that does, because certainly Mike Heffron, the guy that created this process, doesn't understand it, and Alan from Space Audits can't do math at all, so he's out. But so Mike Heffron first starts talking about measuring the elevation angle of the peak of a mountain, and so he's 50 some miles away from a mountain in Colorado, and measuring it with a theodolite. The theodolite is only accurate to 5 arc minutes. It's not calibrated. It's no bet. It's similar to this theodolite I have up here, where
to pick a nit that's a transit, not a theodolite. But yeah, go ahead.
Yep, I know. You can't plunge the lens or the telescope and flip it around to fix collimation errors.
You can't do one's direct, one's reverse.
Yeah.
Or face right and face left.
Yeah. So he can't do that, right? And so then to address that, you want to get it calibrated. His is probably no more calibrated than mine. I picked mine off Facebook, whatever it's called, Marketplace. So
so he has no idea how to do these measurements when you're doing
yeah.
online.
Anyway, so he measured the elevation. It was in the vicinity, but then there was some in the stuff it wasn't quite what the globe predicts, and it wasn't quite what the flat Earth predicts, and this and at first blush you're like, is that what the point is? He's measuring the angle to that, and he's using that device and that, but no, that is not the point of the experiment, of the measurement. The point of the measurement is that matches the globe. But we see in some mutated and warped way, optics are somehow, not just because of refraction, but because of something else, all of the things that we see on the surface of the Earth look like it's a globe, but that's because we see in curved visual space. And let's test that by taking the position of these stars as they are in the celestial sphere.
But wait, hang on.
We're in trouble already, I know.
Okay, go ahead.
No, keep. What was your hang on?
If it looks flat, that means it can't be flat, right?
it doesn't look flat though, is what they're thinking. They're like, it doesn't look flat. But it is because it has to be. Why does it have to be? Because that's their pre-selected conclusion. Anyway, so they take the position of the star in the celestial sphere, right? Using stellarium. They're like, what would that star's elevation be at that moment by using the three-dimensional place of the star on the globe, and then let's compare it to the angle, ignoring refraction, that the star would be to the mountain. So when it goes and it gets obstructed by the top of the mountain, they're like, okay, right at that instant of time, where's that star? And by the timing of it is how they're trying to get these values. But there are a couple things. They're ignoring refraction, and the other thing that seems to be, and I may be wrong on this, but they're taking that the angle to the star is the same at the peak of that mountain as it is at the observer spot. But that is not the case on either flat or globe, because on the globe, of course, you are, say you're 69 miles away. Well, you've shifted your vertical by 1 degree, so that star is going to be a different angle. On flat Earth, however it is, if it's in a plane or if it's in a dome, either way, when you move to a different spot, the angle is going to change as well. They don't take that into account. I think that they take that the angle to the star for an observer at the peak of the mountain is the same angle as the observer many miles away, which you can't do.
But they've not made that measurement. They're just assuming it's the same.
They're taking that to be the case and then just getting the timing of the star. So that's a bit fuzzy. Don't take everything I've said exactly. Jesse is interested in maybe coming on again to explain things. The problem is that it is a rather convoluted way to measure things. Why not use centuries confirmed methods to get angles to things? No. Yeah, we couldn't do that. We need to go and invent a brand new methodology that nobody's verified. Nobody knows if it's correct.
At this point, Nathan Oakley saying that objects in the sky do not obey the laws of geometry makes more sense.
Yeah, well, if you have to pre-select your conclusion to be Earth flat, and nothing in the sky matches flat Earth, well, then you have to do that.
Yep.
So,
but it sounds like a very convoluted way to end up in the same place.
It is. And Aldebaran says, does stellarium allow elevation of the viewer to be used? I know I can do that with Starry Night. I don't think you can. But I could be wrong.
But I'm also amused by, let's use this software that assumes we're sitting on the surface of a globe.
And they were able to do what they do, I think, partially because they turned off refraction. Yes. And when I asked, I don't know if you got, when I asked this, Alan got a little testy with me when I was asking about that. I said, Alan, you can't turn off refraction. If refraction exists, he said, well, but not when the star is obstructed. Like,
what?
At the instant of obstruction, it's all refracted. And you're saying when it's not refracted, or sorry, when it is obstructed, when you can't see it, then you don't need to take refraction into account. Okay, we don't know where it is, so we don't need to take anything into account when we can't see it. But at the instant when the star is intersecting and being occluded by the edge of the mountain, then yes, you do need to take that into account at that moment.
Is that like, what's it claiming that shadows don't affect, or refraction doesn't affect shadows?
Yes, it's an extension of that.
Okay. All right. So we have shadows without light.
Apparently. So I've got a Aussie in the wings here. I've got a DP Debunks in the wings. So
yeah, okay. Well, I've enjoyed chatting.
All right, good to talk to you. Thanks for calling in.
Have a good one. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Here comes DP Debunks. I'm guessing he's going to be on screen. Look at that.
Hey!
What is up?
What is up indeed, sir? What time is it over there?
It is midnight in 10
Midnight.
seconds.
A witching hour or something. I don't know what that means. Oh, look. We got in trouble, sir.
With Simon? Or
well, yeah, but also with a whole bunch of people in the comments on the Fraud Almighty video that you mirrored, and I had a bone to pick with you. How dare you post a video filled with AI slop, sir? Worst thing I've ever seen. Can't even. 3 minutes in and I had to jump ship. Just couldn't tolerate it for a second longer. Absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. Wow. And my favorite part were the comments like, oh, the AI visuals are terrible. And how hard is it to get a human to do that? And the voices are awful. And I'm like, all those voices are humans.
Yeah,
they're all real people.
So the people
Not
don't
only that, like,
people may not know. So you did a video. I mirrored it the other day, and it was on Simon Goldberg. I mean, it was not on Simon Goldberg.
Scam Fraud D, a completely original character. Thank you very much.
Voiced by real humans such as Raynard Wilson and Conspiracy or Culture Cats and you and who else?
A real live Dave McKeegan.
Oh yes, Dave McKeegan. Everybody that was the voice actor in there was English.
Almost.
But anyway, but the animation was and that was all AI generated. But that was, I mean, the point was to give a little description of how not Simon Goldberg's scam works. And
yes, how a completely imaginary group of individuals would execute a completely hypothetical and imaginary tax fraud.
Yes. Peachy Tony says, tell your guest it never gets cold in Queensland.
I'm in Adelaide, so Tony will know what that means.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's one of Australia's Minnesotas is where I'm at.
Okay. Anyway, so
not really, but it sounded good.
The video, like the content of the video was great, and yes, the AI done animation was AI done animation, and I'm like, yeah, I know people won't like that, but if you see past that and see the actual content for what it is, I thought it was very valuable and funny too.
I thought so. And anyone who watched it for 3 minutes and was like, that's it, I'm out, I can't handle this. A, you missed all the best jokes. B, you missed the credits, which is probably the funniest part of the whole video.
If you watched it and okayed it and were like, hey, that was all right, and then the credits start and you're like, I'm out, you missed it.
You got to go back and watch it again. Anyway, I'm doing a whole stream tonight just going on a rant about the AI complaints. Don't want to spoil it all. But I did want to thank you, sir, for mirroring the video because it did super well. And you've been helpful to me since my channel started back in January. And it's been immense. So thank you sincerely.
Only been January? Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. I was losing my mind yesterday when you were talking to Max, listening to Dearth, who, reminder, everybody, you're not stupid. Dearth is stupid. Everything he said about refraction. Because about a month ago, I went out with my telescope down to the beach on a nice sunny day with a little bit of cloud cover and my new smartphone mount that Mikey Smith would hate because it's hard to use, and hooked my smartphone up to that and was actually able to take pictures that were more or less in focus of a couple of ships zipping around out there in the shipping lanes, one of which was partially obstructed by water, which is weird because, as we all know, the Earth is flat and we're just covering it up. But it was passing in front of another ship that was behind it, which appeared to be hovering above the water like a Star Wars Star Destroyer for no reason. Clear as day. And I'm just like, no, I just want to put this thing on screen and just say, Death, please. please explain this.
Yeah.
Because it would be hilarious.
So
I can eat off that for months.
If I can interrupt for just a second, some people were complaining that they're like, he's not in Australia because he's not upside down. And like, we automatically apply the correction, but I can turn it off. Yeah. So there,
that's a globe.
Yeah, there it is with the
stream package.
Yeah, the correction turned off. People.
Yeah,
so that's like, but we usually
out of my head.
Yeah, but we usually turn it on so that so people aren't so confused. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. Just continue.
No, quite all right. I honestly can't remember what I was saying. I went camping all weekend out in the freezing cold. I'm still recovering. I drank quite a bit of fluid of the alcoholic variety, so things are not fully firing. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on more than to say thank you for the video. The other thing that was funny about the Fraud Almighty mirror was they're all whinging about it, and all these, I say all these comments, there were like 10 of them.
Yeah, it wasn't like, everybody.
Yeah, it's terrible. I can't handle it. It still racked up like 4,000 views on your
Yeah.
So it was doing just fine. It's probably less than you usually get because it's got my name attached to it, but that's beside the point. But Simon Goldberg, he's so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
So much fun.
Were you watching the court case that happened?
No, that happened like
middle of the night,
because I'm on the Mind of Steel Telegram chat.
Yeah,
which I recommend everybody get on because it's a ton of fun. Like-minded people meet and mingle. Better than Dirth's personal section on his leaky app. Although Brainerd's arguably less leaky for many reasons. But yeah, the notification went out and it was like, oh, you could totally grab this and record it from there because it's very illegal in the UK. And I was heading out the door with all my camping gear and I was absolutely gutted because I would have had a great time.
So
a great time.
Anyway,
but I hear it was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah. So what happened is apparently, because some of the court documents have been obtained, because of course it's freely available. Simon Goldberg.
Don't let him hear about that. He doesn't like that.
Simon Goldberg and some other lady had both been owners of this organization, and then somehow he like ousted her and then started saying trash talking her and stuff. And so she was like, she's a nutter. He's a nutter. They're both crazy. So here she is, crazy person, filing suit against other crazy person because he's defaming her and frauding her. Potentially she has a legitimate case, but because she's totally nutso, the filing that she sent was incomprehensible, and the judge is like, this is 20 pages, it's in a small font, it's got no vertical spacing, and it goes all the way to the margins, and it's like, this paragraph has 47 sub paragraphs to it. And like, she's just, the judge is describing the document and she's like, I don't know what to make of this. And then his response was 65 pages long. And the judge in the end is like, I have nothing. I just can't address this at all. Everything's dismissed. Nobody wins. And then Simon's like, but can I get court fines? Can she pay me court fines? Like, well, you don't get that if you don't win. The judge says you have to win, which you didn't do. It was dismissed. Yeah. And just like the flat earthers, they don't get case dismissed is not you won.
Not at all. You don't get your cost paid for a participation award. That's not how that works. I've just got vision like he's filing being in like 6-point font and crammed onto one page because she had to go down to the local print shop and print it off, and she only wanted to pay like
probably
P in UK money to get it all on one page. I'm not paying for two. That's crazy. Not worth the effort. Beautiful. Maybe I'll wind up taking him to court for getting all my videos taken down. 3 now, gone.
So you actually got him down?
Yeah. So 2 of them are down and can't come back. One of them I modified and put back up, which was my second video about all the copyright claims and everything else.
Oh.
So that has been blocked in the UK, but it's available everywhere else. Someone that we both know, his initials are RW. He runs a channel that may or may not be called Mind of Steel. It might have mirrored that one, just to make sure UK viewers can see it. And then my mirror of Mind of Steel's video about who unalived Red Pill Day, that's been taken down as well, but his is still up, which is really weird. So either YouTube have cottoned on and just hate me now, or the difference is, I guess, something to do with YouTube and sub-counts and case management or something like that.
YouTube's systems for that are 100% automated. Like, there's no person that ever gets involved in those kinds of disputes ever. So until you get pretty far down the chain. So whether or not it's going to do anything is hard to say. But I got a for that one, the cartoon one, or the AI animation one, I got a privacy complaint about it. But of course,
because I didn't.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he had to file it with no timestamp on it. So
just a whole video.
How can I take action? I don't know what part you're trying to talk about. Of course, I did get privacy complaints about the other one with timestamps, and the timestamps had nothing at all to do with it. It was just a random time. So
it's like the privacy complaints on your first Goldberg video, because I mirrored that, and your complaints had the same timestamp as mine, and there was no PII or anything else shown. So it's like, well, what are they complaining about other than we're showing the documents that they produce that prove they're running a tax scam?
So for reference,
like that's fine, but it's
there are other video platforms that don't get taken down as easily. They basically say, screw you, we're going to keep them up. So you can upload to them, and I will add them to my Simon Goldberg page if you want, on my website.
Just as random information that no one's going to take any action on.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Just hypothetically speaking. But yeah, it's been so much fun. It's been a nice break from the Flat Earth too. I'm not going to lie, because it was doing my head in. I watched way too much Flat Earth Day content over a period of a couple of months.
Dave is just a piece of filth.
Really is. It's so horrible.
It's
always the same. You can set your watch to his presentation of just like, oh, here it comes. He's going to show the supersonic hypersled. Now, there we go. And now you'll get the spinny graphic animation of the solar system. That's
he knows how to prepare his mark. So that right, he knows how to filter them out. So he gets marks that are going to be, have no idea what he's talking about. And he's cautious. Like he'll never talk to anybody that knows anything. So he does whatever he does to filter that out so that he never has a chance of being embarrassed, because anybody that knows his presentation is going to tear him up.
Yeah, but if he won't talk to anybody who knows anything, that means I might get him on my channel.
That's a long shot.
Lines ever. It's like, don't play dumb with me. My response is always, who says I'm playing? Too much fun. Right. But he's running out of the easy marks, and he keeps stumbling into people who aren't completely devoid of intelligence.
Yeah, Shiva tore him up.
Questions. He really did. We're actually due for that meeting, aren't we?
It's supposed to be this. It's supposed to be this weekend.
Oh, brilliant! I hope Dave live streams it.
Yeah,
I'll watch that.
It's not going to happen. Now, Shiva also, I don't think followed up on it. Probably. My guess is Dave's response was basically he's not going to be able to get anybody, and Shiva probably is like, well, okay, then we just won't try. So,
or he used Google and went, whoa, now I get it.
So what I was thinking about doing was hosting one, just picking a day and saying, look, gonna host this thing. Everybody is invited, and the what will happen is you bring a proposal for an experiment that you will accept the results of. They need to be somehow differentiate between Earth flat, Earth globe, right? And you stick with you commit to the answer ahead of time, and you'd have to be like you will fund your half of it, right? So if somebody's like, well, it needs to be an airplane that does this, okay, you're funding half of that. You have a way to fund half of that, because if it's not, then it's not something that we can bring to the table and actually talk about. So
I've got an idea, right? What you do is you take a group of flat earthers and a group of globetards, and you go to Antarctica and you see if there's a 24-hour... Hang on, this is sounding really familiar.
Yeah, it is.
All right, maybe that needs a bit of work.
The thing is, of course, we all...
Copyright takedowns from Will Duffy, too.
I know.
Brilliant.
We all know no flat earther will ever state an experiment that they will commit to the answer, to follow the answer.
I mean, unless they can state an experiment that's clearly flawed and biased, and then they'll commit to that if the answer's guaranteed to be Earth flat. But otherwise, no. Hell no. Why would they? It's crazy talk. You're crazy. Get off the road.
What
have I done on my screen?
It is... How can...
There we go.
How can... Where do you live again?
Adelaide. Australia.
Adelaide. So Adelaide is the Minnesota of Australia?
It's sort of. It gets cold here, is the point. Queensland never gets cold. Tony's right. Adelaide gets kind of cold.
How cold?
We get into like 3-4 degrees Celsius, proper temperature.
3 or 4 degrees Celsius?
Yeah, you guys get way colder. Way colder.
Yeah.
We do have areas that snow here from time to time.
Okay.
It's like 2-3 days a year. Not in Adelaide, but over on the East Coast.
Do you go skiing in the winter? Does anybody?
People do. We have like ski resorts and all sorts of things.
Wow.
It's a real thing. I mean, how much is natural snow and how much is manufactured?
Well, we have that issue in Minnesota as well. Plenty of ski hills are making snow at night, so.
Yeah, just steer around the yellow bits.
Ooh, Scotty Orange says, I'm going to be in a discussion soon with someone who believes in the ether, and they think they can prove it exists, like their basis is the ether moves with the earth. Any thoughts? Oh. So if the ether, so they think that the earth moves and the earth orbits the sun. So the problem with the ether then is that the earth is doing multiple movements at the same time, and so then if the ether moves with the earth, it has to be doing them also at the same time. So the earth orbits the sun once a year, has a rather large linear velocity, so the ether has to be moving with the earth around the sun. Also, the earth orbits or rotates once a day, so the ether also has to, while moving this lateral speed, also has to move like once a day with the earth. Now, the air on the surface of the earth can do that just fine because of momentum and conservation of momentum and the law of viscosity. But so then there must be everything the same about ether, right? Minus ether can't be in space, right? The atmosphere on the Earth can do what it does as it moves through space quickly, because there is essentially no atmosphere in space to resist it and have the law of viscosity again apply to it. So that's right. So then there can't be any ether in space. It has to be basically like air.
Yeah. So what we're looking for is like documentation for satellites and stuff, because they'd have to take the ether into account.
Yeah.
Actually, they're just balloons, so they don't have to, as you said. Momentum and viscosity, because they're just hanging around in the air under the dome, Because Mikey's seen the firmament. He's got heaps of pictures of it. So we know that's the thing.
Heaps of pictures. So, all right. Ooh, I got a couple super chats to
get. Tried to detect the ether has come out with the results and said, like, yeah, nope. Sorry, well, my bad.
And of course, the flatties and the etherists, they put the cart before the horse, right? The movement of the Earth was established first through methods other than related to ether, and then let's see what the known motion of the Earth does to the interaction between us and ether, if that ether exists. But they go the other way. They say ether do exist, and now they say, well, let's check to see if the Earth moves. Like, what you didn't yet establish that ether exists.
That almost sounds like they go into this with a predetermined conclusion.
It is a bit,
sound like
yes.
flat earthers at all.
It is.
That would be really disingenuous. I don't believe they're capable of it.
Let me read this. So we got Jack Fetter says, "Oh Lord, archival historian for Mikey Smith videos. Kill me now. That's a job assignment right from hell. You have to actually watch them too." Oh, see, Mikey deletes so many of his videos. So if you actually want to save his videos for humanity's future, you have to record them live, which means you have to be there at the set time that it happens. It was like if you wanted to see on Thursday night that episode of Knight Rider, right? Where Michael Knight is going to go up against the bad guy who's got a laser, and that laser hits the hood of Kit, and the lady, whatever, like she springs something on Kit's hood that says, "This can only, I'm protecting you against the laser, but it can only take 15 seconds of it. So be careful." And then Michael Knight's like, oh, we're in a parking lot, and they've opened the back door of the van, and the van is pointing at Kit, and they're going to turn on the laser. Ooh, Kit, engage timer. Boop. And then it starts going, and it's ticking down, and they go, they switch between the camera view of the guy in the van and the camera view of Kit getting hit with the laser, and Michael Knight like getting all like cool and calm. He's not even scared, right? And then the music and the switching of scenes and the timers going like, hold on, Kit could have just turned off to a different direction because in the back of never mind that. Suspension of disbelief. Anyway, that episode, if you weren't there to record it, you will never have seen it again. Your time is gone, never to be seen again.
I'm just dying at the completely random Knight Rider pull. That has floored me. How many people in the chat have no frigging clue what you were just talking about, but I do. Because not only would I have caught it on the Thursday night, I would have had my VCR set and recorded it then as well, so I could watch it over and over and over again.
So that's just the thing. You had to be there. If you weren't there, right, because your sister had a tap dance thing, you're screwed.
My camera's frozen.
You will never see it.
I'm frozen.
Oh, you're frozen. Oh, I can fix it. Hold on.
I'm looking at something and I'm thoroughly invested in it. This is proof that I'm AI. Katie Markley was wrong. It's not that I used AI animations. I am the AI.
There we go. All right.
Or
Here, you know why I know that episode? Because your memory of things is better than if you go and actually experience it again. Right? So that video game that you used to play, you're like, oh, I can go get it on a MAME cabinet or something. You go play it like, oh, it was better in my memory.
This actually sucks.
Right? Knight Rider is that. It's a show that when you watch it again later, you're like, oh, that wasn't as good as I remember
the
it.
A-Team, greatest American hero.
The A-Team works. The A-Team works for me, but
yeah, Mr. T, you can't miss.
But Knight Rider did not work to go back and watch.
No, I love the Simpsons ripoff of it, Night Boat. There's always a creek or a something.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I don't know why we went off that. Tori Hanzo says, MCToon, this format is pretty cool. Hello, Icy Spin. Well, I missed it while Icy Spin was on. But this is good. The Sun Express says the 6G, I think he means 6G cell phone, right? 6G standard is being cobbled together currently. It'd be fun to put together a list of what the conspiracy nutters will say about it this time. They will say all the same things that they said last time. Mm-hmm. Word for word.
It's been with ponies.
It's yeah. So the 5G spec was published in 2015, 10 years ago, with 3GPP release 15, and so it really isn't. The thing is, it isn't. It's not like a thing. Like the marketing people could have waited another release. They could have said, well, we're going to wait till release 16. We're going to call those features 5G. But release 15 happened to have kind of a couple more like notable things. Like, yeah, we can draw a line of demarcation here and call it 5G. And so whatever they're doing now, they could say, you know what, it's been 10 years. Draw a line, call all these features that are coming up in release number 20, I suppose. They do it every 2 years. Release 20. Let's call that 6G. Whatever it is.
It's going to kill us all. It's basically radio.
It's gonna. If the nameless, faceless they wanted to do that, you wouldn't have known when they did it to you. You'd already be gone.
They're doing it to themselves.
Jack Fetter says, I super chat a bit and I don't want to be unfairly implicated. When I was 17, I was fired from Burger King for stealing 2 strips of bacon. So
ban Jack Fetter.
All of you are now guilty for not having called him out when he was 17 years old. Keiko44 says, Are we all looking forward to Nathan Jokley's book? Well, I will add it to the list there, to the pile there. I got one today. One came in today. Let me get it for you.
I'll amuse the people. Hey, everybody. Toon's not here. I'm just going to talk about him while I can't hear me. Never mind. I never said that. Nobody speak of it again.
All right.
Nothing happened.
Here's the book. Ready?
The Extraterrestrial Species Almanac. Who's it written by?
It doesn't matter.
That is the correct response.
It is literally, it really is an almanac of the different extraterrestrial species that this person is claiming actually exist and actually are in communication with humans. So you've got Antarians. They've got photos of them. You've got Anunnaki. You want the Arcturians? Hold on.
They've got to be in there.
Arcturians, right there.
Yes, now it's legit.
With a photo of them. It's just a blurry artistic something with wings and angels and stuff.
Photoe. Yep.
Let's see. Name another one.
That's all I got.
Oh. Anybody?
Dragons too. Any dragons? Have we got any dragons?
Well, we got lizard people.
Because a lot of the people who speak to the Arcturians with the the light language also speak to dragons.
All right, hold on.
Who were the lizard people? They had a name.
That'd be reptilians.
Oh,
they're not strictly in.
But they live here, so they're not really extraterrestrial.
The animal and insect races: lion, felines, Mothman.
I learned from Flat Earth Dave that extraterrestrial just means people bound to Earth, because the extra is extra land.
Yes.
And terra meaning Earth, and then you just smash your head on the desk as hard as you possibly can.
Yes. So
that's where the noise comes from.
Seventh ray. You got.
Are they seventh ray Adventists?
Syrian insectoids.
Ooh.
Right there.
They were an introduced species to
here we go.
rat problem.
Zeta lizard humans, and so then it's got little things of them. The universal origin. Zeta lizard humans come from the Booties constellation. Right.
One of my favorite constellations.
Booties. Physical characteristics, average height for male and female Zeta lizard humans is 4 to 5 feet, although they look similar and able to tell each other apart due to telepathic hunting.
My ancestors. We do have a couple of suggestions in chat, Mr. Toon. Cap Q57 is waiting for the Borg, and Nikki Lauder is asking if it has ALF.
It does not have ALF. We've got Dinosaurians. We're up to the reptilians here. We've got Draconians. So here we go. Obviously, they look evil. They look even, so obviously they're evil. Yes, yeah.
It
Eric
looks like
Burns.
Apocalypse from DC Comics.
They do use the names of actual constellations for where they come from, but I just think it's fun that they're from the Booties. You've got.
We all wish we were from the Booties.
Alpha Albino Royal Drax. See that?
Looks like Dave Bautista painted white.
These beings actually exist according to the guy whose name doesn't matter. Zeta Drax. Couldn't get a better picture than that.
That's one of our classics.
Yeah,
but it's nice to be able to put a name to the face. Finally.
Oh, this one, Eol Reptoids. Right, it's a husband wife, and they're in love. Look, so precious,
lovely, family-centered, made-up beings.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. Maybe it'll be my next horrible, sloppy AI cartoon. We could write the same book again, but each alien race can be based on a flat earther. Someone suggested the Potatonians, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, good idea.
There's a lot of potential there. That's all I'm saying.
The Flatzoids.
The Flatzoids.
Of course.
Flatzoidia. Or Ratzoids. Would Ratzoids be a subspecies of Flatzoid or the same thing with a different name?
They're the Rodentia. Yes.
Rodentia. That's their moon. They orbit a gas giant. Because Ratzoid's full of hot air. Boom!
I sometimes get a gas giant if I had some Indian food.
Watch a couple of Sutherloons. Moving on.
Monkey Cat Pat Pat says DP isn't upside down. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Well, we fixed that. So
there we go.
Debunked. It's in the name, sort of.
Matthew Lott says here in Australia we do the correction to flip you topsiders the right way. Topsiders.
There's a few jokes that I'm not going to do there.
I love that. Jack Fetter says flirts with money to fund experiments. I see a flaw in your logic. Had you said flirts with the lie that live in mommy's basement, sure, but money? That's a challenge. Yeah,
that is a problem.
Earthly
caps, maybe. Mountain Dew caps.
and ABC gum. Earthly Skeptic says, how about a crowdsourced expedition where everyone measures Polaris and sun elevations and we can model with globe and flat earth? Smartphones measure to within 1 degree. That's a great idea.
I will absolutely measure Polaris for you from here.
Yep.
Done. Moving on.
Dave Weiss claims that it's been measured from 23 degrees south latitude. He really has said that.
That's because the horizon rises to eye level unless you're looking at a mirage, and then the horizon's wherever you need it to be for the mirage, unless you need it back at eye level for something else on the water at the same time. For reasons.
Icy Spin says, Toon, is there more evidence for flat earth or Hogwarts? Well, people can at least model Hogwarts. You can't model flat earth.
There's a legit 3D model of Hogwarts.
There's a Lego model of Hogwarts.
It's way more real than flat earth.
So Peter Markley, and I said that because I know Peter Markley did this, collected a series of 30 citations of Dearth saying that you can see Polaris at 23 degrees south latitude.
Excellent.
He just says whatever, and there's no ramifications for him being wrong because he does it in a shotgun of spewage when he's talking to people, and nobody is going to call him up on it because he goes so fast through all these rambling topics. And by he's 4 topics later, but before somebody's processing, like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. Let's go back to that topic and talk about it until you provide evidence for it.
Did you? I don't know if you saw it. You probably didn't because you got live. I've got a video, Death Proves the Globe, where he's showing footage of water, and there's a buoy out there, and he pans across, and you can see the NASA vehicle assembly building, and there's trees in front, and there's water, and he's saying, look, that's supposed to be X far away, and blah, 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 but you can see it. It's right there. It's fine. It's a little bit distorted for mirage, but you can see the VAB. So I've gone online and tried to find a picture of the VAB matching it as closely as possible. And that building's like 600 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, it's a very big
building.
About
250 feet of it. So
yeah,
where's the rest of it? And then overlaid it, and you can see how far under the water the rest of the VAB should be, or how much more you should see. It was really kind of Death to prove the globe for us yet again. But yeah, it was pretty spectacular. That was his evidence. You can see the top of the building. It's a huge building, Death. He's great. The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
In the worst possible way.
Earthly Skeptic says, you can please see Polaris at 23 degrees south some 12,000 years later.
Matter of time. Which is all made up anyway, because Einstein was full of crap.
You can't have a bucket of time, therefore it's fake. Right?
I can put my watch in this bucket of chicken, and it's a better model for
the chicken model, the bucket of the KFC chicken. Oh my gosh!
Saying it to Lord Jamar. That moment will never die.
Lord Jamar is. I mean, there's dumb people, but wow, he's dumb. Yeah. Lord Jamar.
It's oddly quiet. It's almost like he had nothing more to add to the conversation all of a sudden, which is a shame.
Yeah,
real shame, because there's a lot of mileage in that guy.
He's seen a lot of miles too.
It's a walking smoke cloud.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I love how he claimed that his friend drugged him by giving him.
If you needed help, dude.
By giving him pot that he knew he was smoking. Oh, but no, it wasn't the pot. It was something in the pot. So he's accused his friend of lacing his pot with something so that he couldn't think good. He no think good because pot laced with something.
It was compromised. Not for nothing, Lord Jamar, but I think that happened long before you sat down in that chair.
Nothing to. Yep, it was years of commitment you had to that dumb Jamar. I
didn't even post his own top left video. What an amateur.
Now, sometimes you do get debunked though, and you're about you.
Oh yes.
You are about to.
Excellent.
By somebody on the way in right now.
Dun dun dun. It's all right, because I've got my Lord and Savior Satan on my side. He came camping with me. He is. He's got a new hairdo because he was hanging up inside my tent, providing light because he can be the sun.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And as I was taking the tent down, I almost left Satan in there, which he wouldn't have liked that. So he was in my pocket all day, and some of his hair. He's got a hairdo. Look. Some of it rubbed off, so I had to take him to the hairdressers, which isn't just drawing on him with this Sharpie.
All right.
More involved.
I think somebody is boomerang it up here, trying to get in.
And it's not me. Yeah.
Do
it. Put it in H.
Ask to start video.
Try turning it off and on again.
Wait, put it in H.
From The Simpsons, when he's looking for a new car. And he goes to the super dodgy car lot with like the Russian or Eastern Bloc dude. Like, it'll get 2.5 miles to 15 gallons of kerosene.
I don't remember that one.
Homer's trying to pull away and the gears are crunching. He screams out, put it in H. Anyway. I remember it.
My goodness.
That was my Knight Rider moment.
Yes. There you go. We've all got our Knight Rider moment. Well, Quantum Degreaser is supposed to be in here to debunk us all or degrease us all, but is not able to fire up the video for some reason. I'm getting a little tired. So
I have that effect on people.
All right, let me tell you this while we see if you can pull it through here. So if you watched the video that I put out today on my Conspiracy Tunes channel, good for you. If you haven't, then go watch it. But I mentioned that Critical Think gave me all of the raw video of his flight. So when he got on the plane in Sydney, he had with him a GoPro and he put it out the window. The entire flight was recorded the whole way. And that video is being published. And I thought I was going to get it today. Like, I didn't think it would be a challenge. The problem is it is 104.68 gigabytes in size. It's an almost 12-hour video in 4K. So, yeah, I'll be uploading it overnight, and then it'll have to go live tomorrow morning or something.
Problem.
Yes,
because Brenda in NASA HR would hook you up with the supercomputer, but she's still undoing all the damage done while she was on leave, and Karen from HR was running the show.
Oh no,
and that's just been an absolute nightmare. But yeah, Brenda's great.
All right, well,
looking forward to that video.
Oh, something flashed.
So
no,
Mr. E-Man's
yes,
5 big fat memberships.
Well, there you go. Read them out. Here we've got the degreaser.
I can't read them now. You can all read for yourselves. It's down there in the chat. And if you can't read, ask a parent.
Thank you, Mr. E-Man. And all right, prepare DP to be degreased.
Finally.
Oh, he's got no microphone. I mean, it's on it's on his face there, but it's not connected.
Yeah, it's just here.
I don't know. Steve is waiting. Steve is still waiting for his phone call from Will. What a baby child way to respond to something. Therefore, it's all faked. He didn't call me when I wanted him to call me, so it's always faked.
I mean, you didn't call me either, so I've got my doubts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. It's very sad. Not that we've ever spoken on the telephone, but that's besides the point.
I mean, when we were... Oh. Hello. Damn. We hear something.
Heard noise.
Internet things.
Yes. There we go.
Are you here to degrease us?
Hey, can you all hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Okay, that's good. I started to have some technological difficulties there, but as the one of those high IQ flexperts, I like to try and work my way through them. So I was listening a little bit ago, Toon, and you were talking about Knight Rider.
Oh yeah.
And the van. So I have a small fire truck as a port substitute, and I have a Trans Am here in a package that I have yet to open. Now, you said that the thing was hitting out the back of the van at the Firebird, but I'm confused. So the Firebird is facing the back of the van, correct?
Yeah, on the other side of the parking lot with no cars in it.
So that means, were they like?
You turn the van around. There you go.
Is this?
Yes, that's exactly how they're oriented in the parking lot.
Okay, well, okay. So these directions are kind of a little bit confusing. We'll come back to that. But I have an experiment that y'all can try, and I believe I've proved flat Earth again. Okay. I mean, my lake level experiment, I believe, pretty much sealed the deal. But so I have here a level, and I'm going to hold it pretty level to the camera, and I've been doing some experimenting and some work in here, and I've got a one of these things. It goes to this apparatus here. It's basically a so this is a Refraction, and it's used with some cardinal gram meters that I have, and I use those to.
Where did you get those?
Basically, yeah. So this is it's a Refraction, and it works with these unilateral phase detractors, and. Anyway, basically, you run into sinusoidal deplenarization if you don't have them, synchronized correctly. But what I have here is a sinusoidal deplenarizer unit. Now, if you notice, this thing hangs straight down. Well, pretty close, straight down. Now, if I hold this up to this level, and you go ahead and screenshot it, I'll give you a chance here. Screenshot in 3, 2, 1, screenshot. All right. So now if you measure, gotta hold these things here just right. It's hard, a little bit hard. You should have, angles here and here. Now, if this is flat, these angles, if my math is correct, I should have a 90, 90, and a 90, and 90, and 90 and 90 is 180 plus, times 2 is 360. So now if it's a globe, this should be leaning one way and this side should be leaning the other way. So you should have more than 360. So you go ahead and put it in the Photoshops or the GeoGebra or with those programs, and I bet you're going to come out to well, if it's flat, it should come out to 360. But if it's a globe, because it won't be level on both sides, you're going to have more than 360 degrees.
Yeah, because on a sphere, just for my clarification, because I'm following, this is good stuff. How many degrees should we have for a globe?
Well,
like 540, 720. Yep.
So 8 inches per mile, you're looking at I figure 0.00423 average points of slope per longitude here, longitudinals. And I would say 363.
363.
You're writing that down good. Send me your notes later.
Yeah, I mean you know, take your time, just work it out amongst yourselves.
All I wrote down on the notepad was garbage, but that's the same thing, right?
Well,
if we go into
so
numerology and some gematria, 363 equals garbage. It's the same. We can reverse engineer that.
Wait, it depends on.
I'll talk to King Nico. It'll be fun.
This right side up. Okay. This is the bottom. Yeah. So. Yeah, basically 360. I estimate about 363 degrees if it's a globe, based on the rods of the hogshead as to which way it slides either way, based on linear detraction of. Are we now? Use Euclidean geometry in your measurements.
I only use curved Euclidean space.
Are those compatible with sheep units?
Yeah, there is a direct conversion between curved Euclidean space and sheep units. Unfortunately, it's been outlawed by the Inter-Scott standardization panel of 1734. So if you want to go, in violation of those terms, you go right ahead. But I will not be doing that.
I'm familiar with that. I will investigate that further.
All right.
I did want to ask too, in your calculations, Quantum Greaser, have you accounted for the viscosity of the flux capacitor?
Yes, there is a certain amount of basically sliding action if you have. If the panometric spur bearings are correctly calibrated, you have a certain viscosity.
Yeah, if they don't match the trunnion flange isn't matching.
Yes,
then that's a problem.
Yeah. Somebody was going to text me about that. Actually, I have an outside source. Witsit was going to. He's texting. That's the wrong phone. Hold on a second.
Was he going to displace it for you etherically?
No, he was. One of my phones is. I have a lot of burner phones. No, that's not the one. Which phone is going off?
It might be this one. Is this your burner phone?
That's the one. Okay. Yeah, he says that it's all about the entropy and the kinematic equations. So don't forget to factor in the kinematic equations, is what he's told me.
Yep, makes sense. Entropy and ivory, I think he referred to it as.
Sing a song about it.
Yeah, so there you go. Let me know how many degrees you come up to. If you come up to 360 or 363, based on rough calculations, obviously. I think that could be a deciding factor here.
Before we move on, the Earthly Skeptic is asking what the Reynolds number is of that capacitor.
Good question.
Oh, Reynolds number. Yes, that is obviously a.
I know Deadpool did like 2 billion or something. So there's that.
Yeah, the Reynolds number. I want to say it's 6.
It's a good Reynolds number.
That's a round number.
It's one of my favorites. Icy Spin says Turbo Encabulator debunks this entire argument, FFS.
Yeah. No. Okay. So yeah, he says that, but was he taking into account the modal interaction of magnetos and fluxes? And was he talking about a delta or Y, the Lotus windings? Yeah. So, you gotta know that one.
He didn't clear that up.
If I had $1 for every time I had to remind Icy Spin about modus linings, I'd be making money in a really weird way.
It's not as weird as your other ways, though.
Making money in weird ways. That's fine. That's why I have so many phones, because I make money in weird ways. it's just the nature of this beast, as it were.
This is live. You may not want to go into detail there.
Yeah, I should probably not go into too much detail on.
No kidding.
Stuff. Anywho, all right. Well, there you go. All you Globers, you go ahead and think on that stuff. And I gotta run. I gotta try and get my cat to come inside because it's way past my bedtime. So I'm glad I could come in and my YouTube channel is not quite dead, but I might have to start a new one because I can't log in anymore. So, I got kind of caught up in some things there.
Yeah.
Quantum Whiteout. Does that have a good ring to it? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll let y'all get to it.
Awesome. Thank you, Quantum Degreaser.
Thank you, sir. I'm enlightened.
Now I just got to figure out how to leave.
I'm not helping you on this one.
Flat earther,
you're on your own.
To figure these things out.
You look under your desk where all the cords are plugged in. There should be a little switch.
Oh,
there.
Just unplug this computer. Or I could hit.
Or just jam a fork into that bad boy.
X in the corner here, right? Let me hit that.
I mean, I should just log off because I can't compete with that.
You can't. I did. You've been degreased. Anyway, so yeah, this is so when you log out of Zoom, pro tip, do this while you click on that log out. So and rather than that being your final thing, it's this, right? Or something.
It did that to me while we were still chatting.
That was my problem. Anyway, I am actually getting very tired. Dang it.
You were tired with just me before, so now wow.
Yes, after we've been degreased, now what? Nomad Universe says, I'm convinced that guy was joking. If not, we're even more doomed than I thought. Well, the Quantum Degreaser is a common contributor to this channel. If by common I mean uncommon, then yes, I do mean uncommon. So, yes.
Very
he proved that water is flat, or that level is flat, by getting a vial of water at one end of the lake. And then he went to the other end of the lake and got a vial of water. Okay, and he put them next to each other, and they were at the same level. So the water's level.
Wasn't Dirt thought of that?
So all of it. Yeah, I know. So what happened to Quantum Eraser? His channel still exists. Unfortunately, he still exists. To the excitement of nobody. So anyway, I am before I just who was it? Somebody contacted me during the Drunk Debunk show. Like, I think he fell asleep and his live stream is just going. Can you call him? And I'm like, I don't have his phone number, but anyway, I get on as he's awake. But I don't want that to happen to me now. So
yeah, I don't recommend it.
That would be anyway.
The mushroom started itself while I was asleep, so that's slightly different. But point taken. I will get out of your hair so you can sign off, sir.
The mushroom started itself.
My stream.
Oh. Okay.
You're not tired. Not
Nope,
tired.
not at all. Not at all.
You're already dreaming about the Smurfs. And now that's in your head. You are welcome.
No, I'm gonna look. It was the Friday night lineup was, as you know, Love Boat, followed by.
It'd be different for you guys. We had Love Boat on a Sunday.
Yeah, but what was on after Love Boat on Sunday? Even it was probably the same thing.
I'm pretty sure here we had Love Boat and then we had Brady Bunch
in the evening
afterwards. Yeah. Well, Love Boat was on at like I want to say 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
No. When it was
Sunday.
When it was prime time. There you go. Emerson Biggins and Raj Hawk got it. It's Fantasy Island.
Of course.
Yes.
I should know that because I'm about the height of
there.
Anyway.
There you go. Remember the Sleepy Toon and McKeegan stream? Yep. The sun came up. Anyway, people, thank you very much. Well, first, DP Debunks, thank you very much. If you are not a subscriber to that show, to the show of DP Debunk Show, I'm sorry. Please, could somebody who's less tired than me put a link in the chat so people can go scribe to DP Debunks.
If you only subscribe to one channel this year, make it Conspiracy Music Studios. But if you subscribe to 2,
yes,
do mine as well. That'd be great.
There you go. Anyway, that's what I got. Now you're gonna. Let's try you doing this. Do this, and then click the exit.
And then just the leave button.
Yes.
I could Jay Hanvey it and keep you up for another hour, but I don't want to do that.
He's like, I'm gonna. No, you have to leave while that's happening.
I'm going to click it again. It's making me click it twice. I'm so confused. I flipped it massively. Oh my God. You're transmitting the tiredness.
It was perfect, and your microphone's still bouncing. Oh, he's out. It just ended. It didn't even. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, people, I'm getting a little delirious. I got a regular work day tomorrow. So, this is a version of this is a video and a music video done by Astrocade, who was on here earlier. Everybody, thank you very much for joining. We'll see you whenever is the next time.
I just asked you to unmute.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. Yeah, that's a common misunderstanding of the situation. Officially, the sun doesn't rise or set. It's what's known as the sunrise.
Brian says the earth is flat, no up or down, just this or that. He stays up late to watch the sky, says the sun's a trick, no need to lie. He points his finger across the land, no rising orb, no fiery band. He tells the folks it's all a show, optical illusion, man's old foe. Sun mirage in Brian's mind, no round world, no time to find. Sun mirage, it's just a game, he's convinced we're all the same. He reads the charts, he takes his notes. Through cosmic waves, his theories float. Brian laughs at solar beams, calls them all his seamless dreams. He stands on rooftops, spreads his tail, challenges the globe, never fails. With each sunrise, shouts his cause. Sun mirage defies our laws. Sun mirage in Brian's mind, no round world, no time to find. Sun mirage, it's just a game, he's convinced we're all the same.
So we see at the horizon in the morning and evening time. There is no setting sun or rising sun. And the horizon is not the leading geometric edge of the globe. It's an optical phenomenon. It changes with weather, optics, elevation. So it's the meeting of two phenomenons. The horizon, two optical phenomenons, the horizon and what's known as the sun mirage. That's official. That's not me. That's official. Even within the globe paradigm, the horizon is not the leading geometric edge of the globe because there is a constant of always at least 7 over and greater than 7 over 6R present within their paradigm. So the horizon is not geometric within that paradigm.
He reads the
charts, he takes his notes. Through cosmic waves, his theories float. Brian laughs at solar beams, calls them all his seamless dreams. He stands on rooftops, spreads his tail, challenges the globe, never fails. With each sunrise shouts his cause, sun mirage defies our laws.
So whatever the sun is seen doing at the horizon has no relevance whatsoever to do with a globe or proof for a globe or anything else.
Sun mirage in Brian's mind, no round world, no time to find. Sun mirage, it's just a game, he's convinced we're all the same.
Or this proof of a flat earth, because as I said, officially it's what's known as the sun mirage. Now most people don't know that, especially on the globe side. But you're attacking the person, not the argument.
Oh, such an idiot! Oh my gosh, he's so dumb.
All person attacks within